Action.
Hello, hello. Hi, base. Hi, Spherian. Where's Demon Souls?
Straight to gaming. Goodish.
I love the PlayStation 3 menu.
Yeah, it's nice.
I miss it.
It's very crisp.
Yeah. The PSP menu is
Can't-
pretty nice as
Can't
well.
advertise as well with it though, so it's no good for the PS5
Yeah, exactly.
generation.
It's not absolutely rammed to the gunnels with advertising.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to Demon's Souls. Do you ever find Demon's Souls hard to say?
Demon Souls? No, I just say it
You
like...
kind of just...
I just say it like Demon Souls.
Yeah. I feel the need to add a space, say Demon's Souls. So make sure people don't think I'm saying Demon Souls, God forbid.
Yeah, God forbid you get the name wrong.
Call me a fake gamer. No.
It doesn't have to check the trophy set, because I've platinumed this game.
I'm just going to change the brightness as usual. It's a little low.
Do you think?
I'm just comparing, from my point of view at least, the Jedi are evil.
Hi, Woodaber.
See,
Who up
normally
demoning they soul?
I do... Okay, maybe it's okay.
I think it's fine. I think the TV just looks pale because I turn the brightness on the TV up because...
Well, you know. You're just going to remain silent.
I am,
in,
yeah.
in reverence.
Zephyrian just mentioned the PS5 version. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of disfavourable comparisons in this stream. Like, they changed the music of this, or they changed the mixing of this music.
By the way, let us know if the audio is too loud or too quiet with the game. It might be loud.
Yeah, maybe.
Turn that down a bit. The song is quite loud, so maybe when we get into the game it'll be like...
Yeah, the rest of the game will be a lot quieter.
Yeah.
Wrong. Those enemies are only in Shrine of Storms, not in Bolitarian Palace.
Who made this?
I mean, it might be in Shrine of Storms for all I know.
Do you ever team up with your squad like that, summoning all your ghost pals?
No, but also we can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
The servers have been
Four
shut
fucking
down.
spirits. What new?
I don't know what the limit of summoning is in this game.
In this one, I'm not sure. The dragon sure is scary. I do like that it has
Two sets of
ashes.
teeth, yeah? Will my character be showing tummy? Perhaps. Silk, you're right. Demon Souls has the best sliders in character creation in that they are completely broken. If you pick two of the color sliders and just move them backwards and forwards, like to the same positions in a cycle, the colors will change, like in a completely like it will just continue getting bluer and bluer, even though all you're doing is moving the slider left and right, like back and forth. You're not changing anything, supposedly. We'll be creating a new character, so we'll get to play around with this.
Oh
no,
happened?
you're kidding me.
Our internet must be down.
Quick, get on that website. Let's see what's going on here.
No. Oof. Already good start.
Yeah, that's a pretty good character to start with.
Our
Changing
Super
gender
Saiyan.
settings will cause edited appearance days to be lost. So here's the thing, I used to like playing as a knight, I think, but that set that you get when you're a female knight is nowhere near as good as the male knight set,
There's our guy.
the fluted set. The fluted armor is great. I love it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be royalty.
I mean, you'll find it anyway. So.
Yeah, we'll find the fluted set. I don't know whether we'll ever have enough strength to equip it,
Mm.
but we'll have it anyway.
Have you already decided how you're building?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna follow more or less the same build I always go for.
Oh, good.
I like that sometimes as well. So you just like can randomize your face.
He's pretty
Okay, it's not so bad. The last time I did this, I randomized the face a
good.
bit
Ooh.
until that's pretty good. Until like changing to one of these, I think it was changing to north. Like all the polygons like completely warped. It was really
Yeah.
weird.
Give him a brow that went into orbit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah. Choose our hair. I love that this game was ahead of its time. A gender slider between male and female. I mean, it's still not perfect, but it's like, whoa, that's, I mean, it's also kind of stereotypical in that, like, women just basically look like weird babies.
Paler for some reason.
Yeah. Whereas
Oof.
men are just very angular. Saints Row 2 also had gender sliders, but I think was this first? I can't remember which was first. So I can't remember. Saints Row 1 was definitely before this. I can't remember whether Saints Row 1 had like sliders. I quite like Wild.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Wavy.
That's all right.
Yeah,
it's like
okay.
Sawyer from Lost.
I think I like Parted
This
Center.
is also Sawyer from Lost.
Yeah.
Different season.
That's pretty good. Bowl cut. Men are made of triangles. Women are made of circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to tweak my gender slider.
Yeah, you go for
Yeah.
your curtains.
Yeah, I think that's the best. But here's where it gets fun, going into the details. So, general, skin tone. Right, here's what you want to do. Each of these, like skin color flushed or pale, pigment dark or light, skin color orange to blue, purple to yellow, red to green. Normally, as you slide one of these, the other two decrease. But if you continue just doing this, you just get bluer and bluer. And eventually, they'll all be maxed out. And it's not clear to me why this happens. Like, you can already see that, like, from the starting positions these sliders were in, they barely vary at all now.
I guess maybe one of the sliders hits its maximum and can't go further, and then
Well,
the
yeah, I
receive
think
can't
it's
get
just
all
a
the way back.
programming glitch.
Mm.
Like, eventually, yeah, we can't even move either of them.
There you go. Josh
Okay.
Alex 200 is now following. We have
Oh,
alerts
cool.
now, by the way.
We have alerts.
Turned off the sound and the image for it because we haven't decided on a good sound or image. And also, we can't even hear it because we have our headphones plugged into the PlayStation.
So
but-
there, did you see that? All the sliders suddenly jumped. I kind of want to be blue though. How am I making him more blue? No, I need this to be over here, and then I need to. This
This
isn't.
is the opposite of blue.
Yeah, this isn't getting bluer. This is getting some other color.
Oh, what kind
What?
of green? Not blue.
Oh no, we're getting blue now. This is good. There we go. How do we?
Like a pale elf from Pillars of Eternity.
There we go. I think that's. Yeah, that's kind of what I want.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Can you have your hair be... Are you keeping it blonde or are you going for something else?
Yeah,
blue.
hair color. I think.
I mean, if you did have a pale blue hairstyle, you would just be a pale elf from Pillars of Eternity, basically.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That was like
Yeah.
Trunks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe let's
hello.
go. Oh, hang on. We want to turn down the green and the red. Oh, let's get like purple hair. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's good.
I like that.
Pinky purple.
Good morning, Catboy wife. It's evening for me. I'm not gonna fanny about with all these settings like I normally
It's fine
would.
like this.
But I do want. Can we? Oh yeah, eye color.
Evil eyes.
Yeah, we want red eyes if we can. I think umber and grey are the two options we've got there.
Yeah.
But yeah, what should we call our beautiful lad? He's the perfect balance of male and female.
Mhm.
Okay, a bit more female. Yeah. We're true royalty. A blue, purple-haired, red-eyed.
Like Zephyrian said, it's almost your stream avatar as well.
Oh,
that we're blonde.
This is a phenomenon known as merlization.
Yeah.
Every character I create will tend towards a specific archetype. I just think blue skin is really cool.
Big Megamind fan.
Yeah, except for that he's not blonde, I guess. But
Well,
please enter a name. What we Phenomenon. Yeah, that's good. Demon's Souls. Is it time for a Merle Feet stream? Steady on now. Let's just call him after my OC. Lucy. Yeah. We look plenty weird.
King Alant XII, by channeling the power of souls, brought unprecedented prosperity to his northern kingdom of Boletaria. That
turn
is,
the game up a little now
until
that we
the
got past
colorless
the
deep fog swept across the
loud
land.
music.
Yeah. Although music will be starting again
Boletaria
soon.
was cut off from the outside world.
That's true, actually. Maybe
and
this
those
is a
who
bad
dared
time to
penetrate the deep fog
down.
never
off,
returned.
There we go.
But Valarfax of the royal twin fangs broke free from the fog and told the world of Boletaria's plight. That the old King Alant had aroused the Old One, the great beast below the Nexus, from its eternal slumber, and that a colorless fog had swept in, unleashing terrible demons. The demons hunt down men and claim their souls.
I really
Those
love
who lose their
the
souls
imagery in
also
this.
lose their minds.
It feels like
They
it's
might
concept
attack the
art
same
that just they were
and
like,
chaos
I'll just stick that in the
reigns.
game.
Yeah.
Valarfax
I love the idea of
recognized
these
the
like
power of the
battles
demon
against these
souls.
gigantic titans, where just like thousands and thousands of people are losing their lives in this just
The
huge
demon's
battle.
own soul is invigorated by the life force, and the power of a mature demon soul is beyond human imagination. The legend spread quickly. Mighty warriors were drawn to the accursed land, but none have returned. Bjor of the Twin Fangs,
That's him. Pat Lizardon running.
Bjor the Silent Chief, Sage Urbane, Skurver the Wanderer, the Sixth Saint Astraea and her knight Garl Vinland, and Sage Frake the Visionary. The colorless deep fog slowly creeps beyond Boletaria's borders. Humankind faces a
Catboy
slow
wife just
and
subscribed.
steady extinction.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Catboy wife.
Thank you, Catboy wife.
The deep fog will eventually swallow all lands, near and far. But Boletaria has one final hope. A lone warrior who has braved the baneful fog. Has the
Love
land
this
found
FMV
its
fire.
savior?
Yeah, it's great.
Or have the demons found
Like
a
they
new
started a fire in the
slave?
basement of FromSoft and then took a low resi video of it.
It's notable, I think, that the intro is more focused on the characters you'll meet than being a roll call of guys you will kill.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's a big change.
I think
in
that's
Dark
I
Souls they introduced.
I think the intro of this game, the intro of Dark Souls is quite strong as well. But I think the intro of this game does so much more sort of world building to suggest that, like, I mean, one of the things it's a personal preference thing I like about Demon Souls is that you are in the middle of things in Demon Souls. Things are happening as you play the game rather than you coming to it all, like, you know, hundreds or thousands of years after all the important events have transpired. Which is a personal preference
It's a
thing. I
different
think
vibe, yeah.
some
I think
people
a lot
like
of people love Dark Souls to the fact that
Brave
all
soul,
the important events of the world
fears
have
not
kind of
death.
already happened and you're here to
yeah.
I
turn
shall
over
guide you.
a new page.
It's a good drink.
You done?
Yeah.
I have a little bit left.
So that you may lull the old one back to slumber.
Base. I'm gonna make some popcorn. Don't do anything funny before I get back. I mean, we're just going through the tutorial.
Yeah.
But, to briefly reacquaint myself with the controls.
Mel talks a big game, but he doesn't actually know the buttons. in this.
I know the buttons. I never remember whether it's R1 or R2 is like your basic attack. But yeah, since we're royalty, we start with the like rapier style sword, which I love the fact that double handing in this game, like the short swords, you hold in this kind of stance, even if it makes no sense. Like holding a short sword or a long sword in that stance is kind of fine. But holding a rapier like that makes no sense.
Yeah,
Especially when you thrust it like with two hands. Like even when double handing, I think
love
you should.
this like sword out to the side, like walking stance though.
I love it. I think it's
Yeah.
great. And we will be getting a weapon that allows me to walk around like that a lot of the time.
Sure.
Yeah, 2 souls, baby. The first of many. I could read the messages, but they're all just like...
Dominus
Tutorial.
Caligari raises a big point. We talked a big game about playing Zone of Mars,
Fist
of
of
Mars
Mars.
last time.
Yeah. Maybe I still will. I like as well that this game's combat has no poise. So, like, if you hurt someone, they get staggered. And the same for you. I feel like the poise system is good in Dark Souls, but I don't know. I kind of like how crunchy the
I mean,
combat
there are
feels in this.
Some enemies that are beyond poise, like bosses, right?
Yeah, bosses, don't get staggered by hits.
They have a power beyond human imagination. you know,
Exactly.
so-
They have a demon soul. This game's PvP and the kind of meta game revolves around hyper armor. Some moves just give you hyper armor, so you don't have poise, but you do have like weapons that just you can uninterruptible animations.
Yeah, as Furion raises another good question. What's your preferred grip on the controller when you need to move the camera while also running forwards? Like, how do you hold the controller when doing it? I think you need to...
I just hold it normally. Like,
Yeah, show me.
yeah.
Now dash. And move the camera.
Oh,
so
I think
Okay, you
I
go
think-
for claw.
yeah. I think sometimes I claw when I need to dash and
See,
run.
what you started to do there is what I do, which I refer to as reverse claw, where my thumb remains on circle and then my index finger curls around to get the camera.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, that is
I do that.
unnatural for me. I think. I think I tend to like get my middle finger on the circle button, and then I can keep my thumb on the stick, And then I also have my index finger free now to like push
Yeah.
other face buttons if I need
It's
it.
like an alternative claw grip where you use the middle finger rather than the index on the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
there's
just
an item back here.
I have like I don't know if
Maybe not.
my thumb can kind of just like extra flex, but I find it more comfortable to curve my index finger around.
I
where
think
my
I
thumb
sometimes
is.
do this as well. I
Mm.
do my index finger on
Yeah.
the button. I could have sworn there's items around here that are worth picking up, but maybe not. The claw, advanced claw. I'm looking forward to this Demon Souls Merle through.
PS5
I'm not-
as an example.
I'm not playing. I'm
This is
I'm
super easy
merling.
for me. Like do this
Okay.
and then go do this.
Yeah, I think that's harder for me.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I forgot we have the Silver Catalyst.
You go for a catalyst in the left hand.
Yeah.
The more aggressive option, I guess, because you want your alternative to be stabbing rather than your alternative to be blocking when casting spells.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I think like a lot of the spells you just need the catalyst in your left hand, like the ones
if you
that
want to buff
empower
weapon.
your weapon.
Mm.
But I feel like I want to be able to like capitalize on an enemy weakness
Mm.
and like finish them off, and then I can switch to the shield if if needs be. Let's try and get a parry off.
I'm gonna refill our drinks. Well, do you want a rum?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I love the parrying sound and animation in this game. It's so good. And it makes it into like a reward in and of itself. Look, I stabbed him in the dick then. Come on. Look at that. They're calling him the God Gamer. Parries in these games feel so satisfying. I love when you get to no-sell some huge monster's attack. Yeah, I feel like you can't parry that many monster attacks in this game, which is the same as other Souls games. It's mostly just humanoid enemies. Oh, hello. I also like the dying noises in this game a lot. Like, there's some guys that make a sound that sounds like Muroo. When you kill them, they're like Muroo. I'll point it out when it happens, but it's it's like stuck in my brain. Wow. Right, the true test of gaming, however, will be, can I beat Vanguard? Which is something I've only done a few times. And I've played this game a lot. So I should be better at it than I actually am. I think beating him as royalty is tough, because one of the reasons I picked royalty is we start at level 1, and we have like probably the worst stats in the game, just like a true royal. We're inbred and weird. But we do get some really good items. I think we get the fragrant ring to start with, which compensates us a little bit. How do I look at item descriptions? It's maybe here. There we go. A nobleman's ring forged with spices recovers MP a little at a time. So yeah, we just constantly regenerate mana, which is really good. And I like that this game has mana rather than just like a spell limit to how many spells you can cast before having to rest at a bonfire.
I think, yeah.
Hands on the screen, everyone. What do I get if I beat Vanguard?
I don't even know.
No, I mean, like, what are you going to give me?
What am I going to give you? I just gave you a drink, and I'll take it away if you don't beat Vanguard.
Oh. Damn. Spice, melange, Red Dwarf reference.
Yeah, I was just going to say you can get like a ridiculous amount of old spice in this, so you can't just like refill your mana all the time.
Oh, well, there we go.
So that was... Alright, no drink for you.
No! Give it to me! I feel like I zigged when I should have zagged.
Look at Mephistopheles, he's so cunty with it.
She,
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, Mephistopheles looks really cool. I doubt we'll meet Mephistopheles in this playthrough because I don't intend on...
Yeah, just so crazy saying counter hit on round start. I would love if we had a button where I could just press and go counter.
Counter! Yeah, we do need to get or the metal pipe sound effect.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Soul's message voice. Try zagging.
As Gashroff said, it was close though. nearly had him.
First death though.
Yeah.
Let strength be granted so the world might be mended.
And here we have a concept that FromSoft loves so much that they've returned to the
Keep
well
trying it.
pretty much in every subsequent Souls game.
Only missed one game and then every other game.
Every other game has had a Maiden in Black.
This is the Nexus. It holds together the northern land of Boletaria.
That's how I look at women as well.
Thou canst not exit the
Me when
Nexus.
someone's trying to explain
Each
something
of
to me
the
when I'm
five
like just waking up.
You have died, and the Nexus has trapped your soul. You cannot escape the Nexus.
So that's the game.
So,
Yeah, we've soft locked now.
yeah. However, by capturing demon souls, you can reclaim your physical body. Nexial binding. Right. Yeah. I love the Nexus music. It's great. I remember I would just whenever I would play this game, I would sometimes just leave the game running in the Nexus after like a stressful bit, and just be in my room at uni, and just be like, have this playing in my room while I was just relaxing on the bed.
That while the hub in Dark Souls 3 is called Firelink Shrine, it actually looks more like the Nexus. Just looking at the staircases, I'm like, this is just Firelink Shrine in Dark Souls 3. Like, they just copied the Nexus.
Yeah.
So it is a very, like, kind of comfy layout for a little hub.
Yeah, it's great. There's loads of people to meet, so we'll go in order of how cool they are. Starting at the bottom. Oh, I don't think... Oh, yeah, there she is.
Oh my. How has this happened? Has God abandoned us?
Take a look at what happened.
Take a look at what happened.
Oh, Mbasa.
So,
Hello,
Umbasa's in chat, lads. I love that there's this word in this game that is never explained, and just all the religious, like, faithful people say it. I love it. Oh, Umbasa.
Oh, Mbasa.
Just...
Oh, Mbasa.
I don't even know what her name is. Right, so she's one of the religious people, so I'm not like a massive fond of her because I never go faith in this game.
Another thing I like about the religion in this as well is that, like, in
Her
other
name's
games.
Umbasa. Just saying her own name.
It's like a Pokemon, just be like Umbasa. I do like that in this game, the religion. Like in other games, it'd be like, oh, the Lord of Light, or like some other name for the god. The god is just called God
Yeah, exactly.
in this.
So here's a guy Souls fans might recognize. It's Crestfallen
He's
Warrior.
back. I mean, he's here for the first time.
You slipped through
Actually,
the fissure too, did you?
Don't fucking correct us and say he's in Kingsfield. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Or to save this land and be remembered as a hero. Hunting for demons? Try one of the Archstones.
It's impressive how he talks without moving his mouth.
That is why you came, is it not?
If you beat Vanguard, you get a Master Ball you can use on Umbasa.
Summon Umbasa as your pal for the rest of the game.
He's not in Kingsfield 1, which is the only one I played. So, I said on Twitter that this is the game where it all started, this is Demon's Souls. I was fucking waiting for someone to say,
Ready.
well, technically, a lot of the mechanics that appear in this game were in Kingsfield. And I just wanted to be like, look, yeah, that's the technically correct answer. But, like, that's the same as, like, when someone says, what colour's the sky? Someone goes like, well, technically the sky doesn't actually have a colour, and it only appears blue due to Raleigh scattering. And you just want to be like, I don't want to hear it. It's blue, all right?
I'll kill you.
We all know it's blue. I'll beat you to death with hammers. So Crestfallen Warrior, he won't go crazy if you just never talk to him, which I think is
So-
very funny.
Yeah.
I think it should be the other way around. If you don't talk to him regularly, he should lose his mind. But it's that if you can just stop him from leaving if you just never speak to him. So I like him, so we're not going to be talking to him ever again. It's a very funny thing to say.
I mean, he's a bit of a bore. You know, we've heard what he has to say.
Oh,
on
we haven't got the
everything.
magic guy yet. I don't remember when. Maybe he appears after we beat the first Archstone. Blacksmith
Ooh.
Baldwin?
Ed?
No, Ed is the other one, I
You
think.
here? Do you hear for my services? The name's Baldwin. Just an ordinary blacksmith. It's simple. Just bring me all the souls you can. In trade, I'll give you weapons, or forge ones you already have.
Like that, the way you have the camera, it looks like you're like
You
putting your sword right to his neck, being like,
Put his sword
what
right.
do you do?
I want to poke it right in his eye.
Not a bad
Oh.
deal, huh?
I'll kill him.
Perhaps you've already heard, but there's another blacksmith at the entrance of Stonefang Mine. He's an eccentric old man, but he knows his trade well. He's the only sane one left in a town of soul-starved men. If you do meet him, yeah, well, forget it. That stubborn old ne'er-do-well will just ignore you.
Interesting. We can't upgrade anything, so we don't have any materials. We can't. Do we need to repair? Probably not. We could buy some Crescent Moon grass.
All our fucking souls on it.
Yeah.
No interest, eh? I can tell you're not gonna last long here.
Now, and yeah, here is another cool character.
I'm Stockpile Thomas. When the scourge came, I didn't know what hit me. When I came to, I found myself here, in the Nexus. My wife and daughter fell victim to the demons. But I would be worthless in battle. At the very least, I hope to lend my assistance to you brave slayers of demons.
Calling you brave slayer of demons after that Vanguard performance, what a joke.
After any excess funds,
Please call me Thomas. Mr. Stockpile was my father's name.
Mr.
Also,
Stockpile would be a good, like,
Base,
corner shop name.
Base made a really good point there. Slight spoiler, I think it's really interesting how miracles and sorcery draw from the same power. Yeah, you have to raise your magic stat to give you a bigger pool for magic, which is what powers both your like magic or miracles. But I think intelligence is what determines your magic power and or your spell power, and faith is what determines your miracle power. Although I think It's weird. I think faith does like two things. It also increases the amount of miracles you can attune, whereas magic increases your mana pool and the number of spell slots you have, and then intelligence
Like
just
how
increases
the
your.
god in this is just called God. I like that they also just go cut the shit. This skill's called magic. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
magic.
yeah,
It's not
exactly.
intelligence.
It's not. Yeah, there's magic, which is how much magic you have.
Yeah.
He spent ages with this fiddling with the sliders to be that blue.
Slay of demons. That's what I meant to say.
Slay of demons. Slayed of demons. Slayed by demons. Right, what do I need? What do I not need? Probably don't need any of this.
So another fun mechanic in this is
Best of
carry
luck
weight,
to you.
but not like you'd expect in other
Oh yeah.
Souls games.
Right, I want to see if I can remember how to do this. What do I do? I think I have to go.
I do think
It's intrigue.
most people
Use-
laud the removal of like carry weight as like just a great thing. Like I'm glad they removed it. But both you and I kind of like sick in the brain in that we both kind of like it, if I recall right.
Carry weight. Yes, I love carry weight.
Mm.
I love that. Not only is there a number of items you can
Like
equip.
item burden.
There's an item. There's an item. There's like equip weight, and then there's item burden.
Mm.
And if you run out of item burden, or if you are carrying too much stuff, you have to deposit it with Stockpile Thomas. I think it's a great mechanic because it means that every time you venture into one of the levels, you feel like you're preparing for like an expedition, and you can bring as much healing items as you can carry. But it introduces this sort of like decision and this preparation phase into venturing forth, which Dark Souls kind of doesn't have. And it has some like vestiges of that in the item box where you can store items so they don't clutter up your inventory, but it's more of a convenience thing than a necessity. You
I think,
can
yeah.
basically carry everything you've ever picked up with you at all times.
I think both of us just like the feeling of like packing your like lunchbox for going on an adventure.
Yeah, I think it's-
you know, like
I think it's great. Right, I think... Let's see if I can remember how to do this.
What's the hurry? Haven't you?
oh, you're already gonna be.
I'm just
duplicating
seeing if
some
I can
items.
show off how to do it. Then... Oh, no, how do I do this?
Wait, where are you going?
I think I have to...
Alex, you'll.
Yeah, excuse the rudeness. I think I go to buy item, then I...
What's the hurry? Wait, haven't you any?
Then do I... Nope, okay. Yeah, I clearly can't remember how to do it, but you can item duplicate in this game. Which, if you don't want to farm souls to buy loads of healing grass, is great, but I can't remember how to do it, so... I think it's that you
Alex,
you
you'll.
have to go to here, select buy, you have to have souls enough to do it, which way I don't anymore, and then you like deposit your items with... They all like react to if you just walk off without talking to them, because you can still move around in this
Yeah,
menu.
you can just, like, buy. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
buy.
you deposit the item with them, and then you have like infinite of it from that point
Best
forward.
of luck to you.
I might do that if I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I don't want to farm for like, you know. Here's the thing: I feel like farming for souls and then buying grass isn't too much of a burden in this game. And I think rather than being a burden, it's actually quite nice to sometimes have that reflection time, to like take a break from a boss or whatever that's killing you loads.
I don't know. I do think as well. I'm a lot of people are extremely like grinding in inverted commas averse. Like I don't think of taking a break and going and just getting some grass by killing a lot of enemies is like particularly bad. Like a lot of people are just like, no, I never want to do that. I always want to be moving forward.
Yeah, I
Whereas
always
I'm
want to be
like,
making progress.
I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't mind doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's fine too. So
let's
I think
go through the
I
comments.
think for now we can't actually talk to the Maiden in Black. Like she's not here. So I don't
go
think you.
talk to the monumental, right?
No, we have to
not yet.
defeat the first
Right.
the first demon first.
Just go through the comments that we've kind of skipped.
Okay, we.
What about jokes aside? It is really good how nastily the Nexus conscripts you into its service. we've rescued in
Your
inverted commas,
soul.
brave slayer of demons. Yes, you are just some guy who got owned, but you are now our slayer of demons.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always thought that's very cool as well, yeah, how it's this sort of like this Faustian pact that you didn't really get a choice to sign up to. You were killed and they've kind of like saved your life. But now you're trapped in the Nexus. And clearly like there are other people who, you know, it's not clear. Like, Stockpile Thomas says he ran away and he was a coward, but how did he end up in the Nexus?
Yeah.
It's quite possible that he was killed as well, and he's just been trapped here, but he's too much of a coward to venture forth. Yeah. Could be the same with Baldwin as well.
Yeah.
Although, that said, everyone else who you can recruit here, you can kind of like quote-unquote save, so it's not clear whether the Nexus is just like somewhere that you get sent when you die, or whether it is actually like a physical place you can retreat to. But I also like that it's not clear. It's at once a refuge for people to like seek shelter from the demons, but also seems like quite an abstract place. Like, where is it? How do you get in and out? Like, if we go down here, for example, what seems to be the entranceway, there's a ton of messages on the ground which are like the game tutorial here, but there's no door. Like, there's no way in.
Let's go through the comments. Like Silk says, grinding for souls is fine, but grinding for some of the rare stones was frustrating. I do think the drop rates of some of the rarer stones are ridiculous in this.
Yes, I will say that you don't. For the trophies, you do need like perfect blade stones and stuff, and the perfect blade stone is the most frustrating one to get, and they are annoying. And so I think item duping for those things, for just, you know, if you want just for convenience on repeat playthroughs, I don't really care. I think the drop rates are insane for them as well. But I will say that you don't, to beat the game on New Game, you don't really need to perfectly upgrade a weapon, to be fair. So the drop rates are hysterically rare, but you also don't need your weapon to be that upgraded.
Joey says, ahoy hoy.
Oh, hi, Joey.
The Nexus, a metaphor for capitalism. Yeah, you're enslaved just by...
A Faustian pact that you didn't really get a choice in signing up to, much like capitalism.
A lot
then.
of people are having this opinion.
I think these are all people the Nexus has conscripted like you. It needs a Slayer of Demons. It needs people to arm said Slayer. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Stockpile Thomas has kind of just been, indentured servitude into being the guy that keeps things.
Yeah, although, like, Bior, Ostrava, and Yurt can all end up here as well. In fact, there are lots of people who can end up in... Well, a couple of people who can end up in the Nexus that you don't necessarily want in the Nexus.
There, This is a quite iconic image. The dragon.
The dragon with a mouth full of corpses. Yeah. I like as well that Boletarian Castle or Boletarian Palace looks like a castle. It looks like a heavily fortified, defensible location. In the Bluepoint remaster, they had like loads of banners and loads of like filigree and like a lot more sort of gothic decoration along this castle wall, which vastly changes the vibe of the place. Instead of being a purely sort of functional, defensible location, it became a sort of symbol of like,
faction.
Yeah, it became like a symbol of Boletarian opulence and status. And I think actually that it works better when this place looks really austere and sort of like functional. And I don't get why Bluepoint changed that. I think I was somewhat of a Bluepoint defender until I played the remaster of Demon's Souls, and I feel like they made so many choices to change stuff from this game to their remake that really annoyed me, because I ended up thinking and feeling like, why did they change this? Like, why were these things changed? And I'll mention other things as they come up, but just the first thing you see in the first level already was annoying to me when I played Demon's Souls.
I remember watching you play it. There was a lot of moments where you were just like sighing, like, come on, like, why
Yeah.
this?
Also, I love that this game rewards you for, like, you load into a level, go backwards. Oh,
Yeah,
there's some
classic
really
classics
good
of
healing
game.
grass. Yeah,
Go left.
exactly.
Sneezing guy is
Yeah, I don't know
again.
whether our microphone picks that up, but our neighbor like sneezes like a shotgun.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I was going to write about Demon's Souls and how its architecture is some of the most grounded in any game, but yeah, I mean, I love that this and many other locations in Demon's Souls feel like real places that you're exploring. There's a lot of places in Dark Souls and subsequent games that feel sort of real on first glance, but then the more you think about it, like Undead Burg,
Yeah,
you're
I
like,
think a lot
oh,
of
this
people
is
are
like
gonna be-
a village that people live in, but then you're like, no, it isn't.
I
No
think,
one would
yeah.
fucking tolerate living here.
When
This
you
is
talk about
crazy.
the unreality of places in Dark Souls, a lot of people think you're referring to like Anor or the places that are meant to be larger than life, but it's actually like Undead Burg is an insane town.
Yeah, the way it winds back on itself is extremely strange.
I think that works better for Yharnam, which is literally meant to be an insane
Yeah,
town.
Yharnam is meant to be kind of crazy, whereas Undead
Yeah.
Burg doesn't. It's not meant to be necessarily like this kind of maddening place that is just difficult to navigate. And get used to this, because we might end up doing this section quite a few times if I fuck up, which I'm already fucking up.
Joey says the cathedral in this level is actually impossible architecturally. Been a very long time. I assume that's referring to whether it's a cathedral. I don't know if you know what
The
Joey's
cathedral. So there's the tomb of Old King Doran. That got changed into a cathedral-looking building in the Blue Point remaster. Or do you mean the later areas near the bridge with the demon? With the bridge with the dragon?
And then
Open my notes from that, and I counted 3 uses of abstruse. So maybe it's a good... No, abstruse is a great word. I think it's a shame that this script has not seen the light of day. The people need to know abstruse.
with last one comment. Ostrava mentions that Boletaria is a, in quotes, humble kingdom of poorer people compared to some of its neighbours, which suggests that some of why all this stuff happened in the first place, but also it means the Dark Souls 3-esque design of the remake suggests a more standard, in quotes, Great Kingdom fell to ruin vibes.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the things that, to jump ahead a bit, there's an enemy in this game called the Fat Official, who in this game they're quite fat, as the name suggests.
Makes
They
sense,
have these faces fixed in this kind of like rictus grin almost, and it's not even clear whether it's their face or like a mask. What happened there? Oh, him. And yeah, they kind of like are a symbol, I think, of the fact that, Boletaria, like the like maybe like greed or something, that Boletaria wanted to be more than it was, and maybe that is a symptom or the cause of the problems that are now plaguing Boletaria. They wanted to reach for greater power, and have ended up actually bringing ruin on themselves. It's not that they were great and fell to ruin, it's that their thirst for power and wealth or whatever actually ruined them before they ever became great.
Yeah.
Like
we
in
said,
the Blue Point remaster, the Fat Officials no longer have this kind of fixed mask-looking face. They are extremely fat, and they're covered
They're
in
like
boils and
grotesque.
pustules, and so
Yeah.
they no longer look like a kind of like a symbol of greed that is like parasitizing upon the people, but also like somewhat like the hidden behind a mask. They actually look like victims of the what's happening to Boletaria, not its cause.
Sorry, quick interruption. When Joey, when you say "Can I get an amen?" you should say "Can I get an umbasa?" We're saying umbasa in this stream.
Yeah, exactly. Basa.
But yes, I do agree. More like poo point.
Yeah, I used to be a big defender of them because I thought that like a lot of their remasters was just sort of like
I just laughed at Joe's fuck.
I used to think that like it was fine that a lot of their remasters just sort of like brought forward the games with a slightly better, like slightly nicer like sheen for current gen consoles, and then I realized that like they actually have pretensions to trying to quote unquote improve some of these games, and I don't like that at all. I think it's extremely arrogant, like some of the decisions they made to iterate or improve on things in this game that I thought were great.
I don't know enough about Bluepoint to say whether they've always been bad, but you know, they made the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, which is lauded as one of the better remasters like out there. And then in recent years, they've made Demon's Souls remake, which is not.
They made the Shadow of the Colossus remake as well, which I like a lot, and I think is a perfectly sort of good way to experience the game, although it does lack a lot of the vibes that the PS2 version has, and the PS3 HD version of that game has. And I think it's a huge shame that it loses a lot of that sort of very dreamlike feeling that the PS2 version had. But it is also, it looks quite pretty. I can't fault it for sort of
just to
looking like a modernized version.
Just to rewind to when we were talking about whether Boletaria is like a like greedy upstart or whether it is like a ruined kingdom. I think when we talked about in the start of the stream how in this it feels like events are going on rather than events have happened and now we're here, like in Dark Souls. I think the fact that guys like these are so destitute, they're like barely covered in rags, and yet we are in the middle of Boletaria's like importance in the story, suggests that Boletaria is not like a ruined kingdom, but is more of a destitute kingdom.
Yeah, like, and you get the feeling that like these people aren't like these like soldiers and like dreglings, like they've lost their minds maybe to the demons, but even before then, I mean, like, look at their armor, it's just cobbled together and sort of rags. Like, I don't think that Boletaria was ever a particularly sort of opulent place. And look around you, like these sort of digs that the soldiers are living in aren't particularly sort of extravagant. Oh, whoops. There we go. Bam. Bam. I also love that, the backstab animation.
He did the noise that you
he did the... There it was. I love that the backstab animation in this, you dig your sword into them and then have to use your foot to like
away.
Which is somewhat realistic. Like, if you do manage to embed your sword in someone, not to get too sort of gross, but like the fact that people are full of like blood and guts actually forms like a seal around the wound, that it can be extremely difficult to like pull your weapon out of somebody.
A vacuum that's now pulling your sword
exactly.
All right, to catch up. What about? I haven't played the PS4 Shadow of the Colossus, but I really hate how it looks. It feels like a tech demo. I think that was a point of contention among fans when it came out, whether people liked the looks. Like, I remember the original looked a lot more like sort of ethereal and hazy.
The original has like a sort of dreamlike quality to it, which I really like. I don't mind the I think now I look back on it and I don't like it as much as I did at the time, precisely because I think their remaster of this game pissed me off.
Yeah.
And there's now I've sort of like run out of
goodwill.
goodwill.
I feel about FromSoft in that I used to like Dark Souls 3, and after Elden Ring I hate Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Base, I like both versions. I like the original more, but I like having both versions. I think this refers to Demon's Souls and Demon's Souls Remake. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with also having a remake. I think on the face of it, I agree, but at the same time, the problem is that Demon's Souls original has been made less available.
Yes, that's the thing. I think that the existence of the remaster or the remake on PS5 actually does actively harm the game in that, one, that's the version that a lot of people will experience, and it's simply, I don't think, as good as this. And I think that a lot of people will play Elden Ring, they'll play Dark Souls 3, they'll play Bloodborne, and they'll go, oh, I want to go and revisit where the series started, but they're more likely to have a PS5 these days than they are a PS3, I suppose. And they'll play that version of the game, and they'll be like, this is all right, but it's not no great, it's nothing to write home about. Whereas I honestly think the Souls games peaked with this one. And it's a shame that the existence of that remake makes it less likely that this will ever get ported or moved forward.
I tend to agree, but although I slightly differ, but I like Dark Souls a little more just because of the slightly added polish of the locking in of the genre, and also I like the interconnected first half of the game.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people say Dark Souls is, just a quick aside, a lot of people say Dark Souls is an interconnected world. What they mean is the first half is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
After that, yeah, there's a reason why they introduce fast travel after a certain point, and it's because they know that, actually we want to go back to what this game did, which is having a few branching
distinct
paths.
areas that you go between.
Exactly. There's distinct areas that you progress along, and then you get to the end of them, and you warp back to the hub.
I agree. I think the first half of Dark Souls is the best that FromSoft has ever been.
The game ends when you get the Lord Vessel.
Very true. Yeah.
You cheeky
But yeah, I think the first half of Dark Souls is my favourite thing FromSoft has ever made, but I think the second half of Dark Souls is where it gets worse than Demon's Souls. Demon's Souls is just better from that point on.
Getting grass for days.
Silk, one of the most frustrating things with games as a medium is how many classics are only easily available now as remasters with some level of aesthetic tweaking. I mean, if you're lucky, aesthetic tweaking. Often gameplay tweaking as well. Classic.
Yeah, I mean, what I wanted from the Demon's Souls remaster was just this, but with playable on current gen soft hardware, and maybe some of these textures, I think they're fine. I don't care. But if you want to update some of these, maybe just make them a little bit more, modern looking. I don't kind of care too much about that kind of thing. Again, I'm fine with how things look. I like the aesthetic of these games.
I have to assume that to investors, just hearing the word port is like I sleep, and hearing the word remake is like, whoa, hold the phone. Because ports to me are infinitely better than remakes. I just want to know how the game was, and I want it to be available on the latest platform.
Exactly.
I don't really care for someone's reimagining of how it was. Anyway, you're doing pretty well.
I'm doing alright.
Half health well.
Okay, you took that one for your bro.
There's another thing you like about this game. You like being a ghost. You like the sound of your effects.
Yeah, I love the when you get attacked and you defend it, and it makes that sort of that weird resonance sound, like you've struck a piece of glass or something. I love that. And also this is one of the only games that really incentivizes you to go into body form or human form, because you get half your health back.
Yeah.
Whereas in Dark Souls,
waiting for Whatever to be like Dark Souls 2.
Well, okay.
Did a similar thing.
Okay.
But it did, and in this, how you have the cling ring, in Dark Souls 2 you have the binding ring, which is a similar effect.
Yeah. Lake Moongrass. Right. We're going to do what I often forget to do, which is go and open this door.
Whatever. I think the fact that the original Demon's Souls servers are gone is part of why I hate the remake. The multiplayer is why I wanted to play Demon's Souls when I was a kid. It's what's enthralled me about the game, and the fact that you need a private server that's very finicky to experience that sucks. Very true. I think Demon's Souls, one of the things that sets it apart from later entries is how cracked the multiplayer was, and now that's just gone.
Yeah, I mean, I remember getting invaded in this game and it being extremely tense because it was often when I'd mistakenly like not remembered to go back to the Nexus and do stuff, and suddenly you're like, oh my god, I've got tons of souls, I've got, you know, my body form to lose. Like suddenly the stakes were just like massively raised. Whereas like getting invaded in any of this, well, those subsequent games that I've played is like, it's not
Time to bow at each other.
well, yeah, you do a little bow
Unsheath my
and
katana, power
exactly.
it up with my buff
yeah,
spell.
like I like that the community came up with a sort of like gentleman's agreement to be, you know, this sort of
It's a
like
nice,
honourable
like-
duels, but at the same time, being invaded and being killed has so little consequence to anything. And the idea of being a spiteful little sort of like nasty goblin that invades people's worlds to murder them
ruin
and
their
pillage
life.
them. Yeah, exactly. Destroy those for no real reason.
Alice also says, honestly, I think Miyazaki has been running from all the ideas he had in this game ever since.
He's been trying to recapture them, I think, in some
Well,
senses.
we talk about it a lot, but the reason that Demon's Souls has a lot of out there ideas was because they assumed the game in development was going to be a flop.
Yeah.
So they threw the book out and said, anyone, you know, I don't know if they said this, but anyone that has like a crazy idea, we'll put it in the game. You know, they put a bunch of crazy ideas in the game, so just like, it's going to flop anyway. We'll just do whatever. We won't even care about what you ought to do in a game, and we'll just do what we want to do. And it means that there's a bunch of ideas in this that it turned out some
shit.
were winners, obviously,
Yeah.
that turned into Dark Souls and onwards from there. And some were losers, but it's great that the ideas are there, you know.
Yeah, that they're there at all. This section is meant to be teaching me about explosive barrels. These guys are meant to like attack those barrels, but I'm killing them before they do. I remember this blowing my mind when I first played the game, that these explosive barrels, they don't explode if you just like break them normally, because why would they? Without any ignition, they wouldn't explode.
I'm like, no, I don't want to hear someone stream. I'm logging in to Ben Dan the Good for
There we go.
spamming viewers.
Cling ring obtained. So, while you have the cling ring obtained, a mysterious ring forged in the shape of an eye. Character loses less HP after becoming a soul. I like that this is called the cling ring, as though you're sort of like clinging to your humanity. But yeah, just raises our maximum health to 75% rather than 50% in soul form.
Banished.
He's been running from PvP being harsh. He's been running from the consequences of loss. Everything since got progressively lower stakes with less context behind the different mechanics. Like, there isn't really any reason for invasions in Elden Ring, and they don't remotely feel like they're a danger or a tense moment because you can only be invaded when you have +1 friendly summoned.
Really? I didn't know that. It makes sense because I never got invaded in Elden Ring, I guess.
Yeah, if you don't summon a friendly, you can't be invaded.
Yeah, they've lowered the stakes in a lot of ways. Like, a lot of people think, oh, they've raised the stakes because they've made it that an enemy holds their attack, and then holds their attack a bit more, and then holds their attack a bit more, and then one hits you.
I remember watching
that's raising the stakes. But
I
it's
remember
like,
watching you play Elden Ring, and like the level of like delaying attack animations to like catch you out was truly hysterical to me, because I was just like, he's fucking flying.
And that's
Yeah,
the
the guy
stakes
like
now,
jumps up
yeah.
into the air and like hovers there for like 2 seconds, and it looks ridiculous. It feels tense when you're playing it, but like watch somebody else like perfect one of those like bosses, and it just the combat looks absurd. Which, you know, who cares what it looks like if it feels good to play? But I don't personally think it even feels that good to play. Oh, so here's another thing I don't like about Demon's Souls. We just picked up the old ragged clothes.
Can't.
We cannot wear them because we're male.
Your character looks at them and goes, ugh.
Yeah, looks at them and goes like, I'm not putting a girl's clothing
I'll
on.
keep it, but I won't wear it.
Yeah. So a lot of clothing in this game has like different. It looks different depending on when you wear it as a male or a female character. But some things are just gender locked, and the kind of old ragged clothes are one of them.
Right.
And I just like, that's annoying.
Just to catch you up again. So
Yeah.
in Elden Ring,
I'm
there's a
glad
lot of
that-
long messages. In Elden Ring, you can pretty much only get invaded if you have multiple summons or you use items to encourage it, which makes it much less exciting. Big agree. I think invasions should just be part of a danger for playing the game. What about? I think in fairness, Miyazaki is increasingly uninvolved with the actual designs of the games. He's FromSoft CEO now. Also, he only joined the development of this game partway through. So I think it's a mistake to pivot the entire perception of the games around him. That's true. We should just say FromSoft rather than Miyazaki to be like the people who make the games have like
Am I
gone
going
that
to take this guy on? Take the Red Eye Knight
way.
on?
Gastraf Slag about to threaten to push chat into a meat grinder. Yeah. Never get it twisted. I am mad at Elden Ring because McKellar is is bad and I'm angry. What about many other people worked on these games other than Miyazaki, much as the man himself would like to insist otherwise? Yeah, that's another thing. I think a sort of cult of Miyazaki has formed around FromSoft games, right? In that, like...
Oh shit, I'm dead. Fuck.
In fact, it's not even
Shouldn't have
strongest
taken
now.
this guy
It was
on.
strongest when Dark Souls 2 came out, the like cult of Miyazaki, where everyone would go, oh, I don't like Dark Souls 2. Oh, here's why. Miyazaki didn't even touch it. So it's bad. The B team did this, and it's like... a lot of people that worked on Dark Souls 1 were on this, that are on the team. The games aren't just made by one guy. Silk Razor Boo let me cross-dress, big agree. I don't get why you can't just wear other genders' clothing in this.
Yeah. So Base mentioned that like one of the things the good things the remake changed, you can change your gender, yes, but you have to spend a hysterical amount of souls to re-enter the character creator. I'm glad that you can. You can like re-enter the character creator whenever you want. I don't understand why it costs like anything. Like it functionally has no impact on the game. So why would you need to spend souls to do it? I don't mind making it a tiny amount as just a sort of like, themically like, well, it would cost soul power in order to completely physically change yourself. Make it like 100 souls or whatever. It costs something like 50,000, and it's absurd. Like, why?
Something I love about Dark Souls 2 is how easily available respecking is. You just need an item called a soul vessel, and you can get fucking loads.
Yeah. I mean, the more these games have become action games, the more respecking, and I don't understand what the excuse for not letting you do it is. I hate points.
Right, Gwynmar, another comment from Alice, that's a long one. It's even worse than Elden Ring because phantoms get scaled down, but not really. You can only invade people close to your level, so you can invade and your target has friendlies with in-game loot and you're wielding stuff near your level. Like there is a huge mechanical push away from the idea that invasions are supposed to be a threat. Yeah, I think invasions ought to be adversarial. They ought to be a challenge, and the invader ought to have the advantage.
Yeah.
And that's what's fun about it. I never like I said, I played all of Elden Ring. I got all the achievements when the game came out. I haven't played the DLC because I didn't like it, like the base game that is. And I never got invaded once. I didn't just because I never engaged with multiplayer like summoning. So.
I remember the first time I got invaded in this game, I had no idea what was going on because I played this game like when it came out, and there wasn't like this kind of like wiki culture of like there's guides on how to like best build the best character or whatever. There was so little information about like how anything worked in this game, and I part of me misses that. But you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. These games are really popular now, and people will just search for stuff because they would rather read it on a wiki than figure it out for themselves.
Just to catch one comment we haven't read. Silk, Shadow of the Erdtree being anti-femboy is the real Dark Souls for me. I know nothing about Shadow of the Erdtree other than there is a femboy called Miquella, and that's it.
It's anti-femboy.
I don't want to hear anything else about it. Another comment
that is more disgusting to you than
saying they did Miquella so dirty. I don't want to hear it. I live in bliss that there is a femboy and go, well, at least there's that, despite the game. But yeah, anyway. All I wanted from Elden Ring was aside from Miquella, good ending. How dare they? Also, Dominus Caligari said, I love how genuinely how analytical it gets in here. And I agree. I like that we do streams of games that we've basically already played all the time. So we can just talk about
I want
the
to
game.
one day play a game that I haven't already played on stream, so that I can sort of like
Just
show
react.
my thought process as I play a game for the first time. But at the same time, I think I have more interesting things to say about games that I've played many, many, many times and thought a lot about. I
Yeah.
don't know that I necessarily.
If anyone,
I don't have the arrogance to think that like my opinions or chat is particularly interesting on things that I haven't experienced or I'm experiencing for the first
if
time.
anyone has interesting recommendations on games that are on either PlayStation 3, 4, 5, or PC that you would like Merle to play and get a first impression on, do suggest.
Yeah,
because-
I would, because I would like to just play more games that people think I would, get a kick out of.
So, only being able to change your gender for huge amounts of money. Who made this? The NHS? But dumb.
That's
you,
good.
thank you.
That's good. Yeah.
What about everyone climbing to the Dark Souls 2 gender euphoria coffin with me? I do admit that one
Yeah.
of those recent tweets on Dark Souls 2 has did give a twinge for me to be like, I should replay Dark Souls
I've never
2.
finished Dark Souls 2, and I will say that like your Dark Souls 2 tweeting is part of the reason why we're playing this tonight. Because I was like, oh, yeah, Souls
That's why we're
games are
playing a
great.
different game.
Yeah. Well, I was like, Souls games are great. I want to play the one I like. Hey, you're not allowed to do that. Only I am.
Dalmais Beto, one of my teachers in high school started playing this during program class after he gave us our assignments.
Sick.
Based teacher, thank you.
How? How'd he hit me?
Alice, I used to invade on Demon Souls with my luck katana back during the start, XD.
I got invaded once in Latria by somebody who was using the scraping spear, and they completely fucked all my gear.
Scraping Spear is the one.
And then they ran
Like,
away.
yeah.
And then they didn't want to kill me. They just wanted to like completely destroy all my gear.
I think-
And at the time I was livid. But looking back on it, it's one of my favorite memories of this game.
It's a story. It's a unique
Exactly.
experience within the game. And I love that this game allows you to play a goblin that doesn't just want to kill the player; it just wants to ruin the player and then leave.
Yeah, exactly. Like they got nothing out of doing that other than the knowledge that they'd like effectively spat in my porridge. That's all they got
yeah.
out of doing that.
Yeah, there's no in-game reward for that other than knowing the damage that you've caused and like
Exactly.
giggling while you go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. Just go to bed and just sort of like giggle to yourself, going, "Ooh, I really ruined someone's day."
Base says play Tunic with 3 exclamation marks.
Yes, Space has been telling me to play that. I will do because
Possible
I have it
option
on. I have it on PS5.
Yeah, I assume PS Plus game maybe.
Yes, it was on PS Plus last month or the month before.
Alice, Dark Souls 2 had probably the most progressive hormone slider in the character creator that I swear the usual ghouls never complained about. I mean, it was before grifters were like running that shit.
This is the thing. Like, there was a tweet a while ago that I fucking really loved, which was some tweet was like some person tweeted, "Oh, Half-Life 2 had Alex as like a major character." And Team Fortress had a really diverse cast, which no, it didn't. They're still like
mostly white dudes.
they're all men and they're mostly white.
Yeah.
But like how did they get away with it? And like the tweet I liked was that somebody made the observation that like in the quote tweets and in the replies were like a million monkeys on a million typewriters trying to come up with explanations for why this was and not landing on the answer that, well, 15 years ago there wasn't the same sort of like right-wing media
Nobody propped up
ecosystem
with
telling them
tricking
to
you
be
into hating this,
telling them to be angry about these things. 15 years ago the right-wing media ecosystem was targeting their parents on Fox News, whereas now there's like a kind of cottage industry on websites like YouTube telling these people to be angry about stuff. And that's like the real reason why now like Neo 2 had Yasuke the Black Samurai in it, and he's referred to in the game text as a samurai. That wasn't a problem when that came out, because the right-wing culture war grifters didn't care enough. But when it's a bigger property like Assassin's Creed that decides to feature Yasuke, suddenly this can be used to radicalize and to put their message in front of a lot more eyeballs, because Assassin's Creed 2 is more popular than Neo 2. Or Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed is more popular than Neo 2. That's the only reason why they cared about it in Assassin's Creed and not in Neo, is because Neo is a very niche game and it doesn't offer them the same a chance to radicalize a larger audience.
And Mudder also says Alex spends the entire game telling the player how big their dick is. That is true.
Yeah, exactly.
In Half-Life 2, you never mistake who the most important human in the world is. And
Yeah.
it's Gordon Freeman.
Exactly. Yeah. That is also another extremely
and is
important.
just white guy with glasses. Is
Yeah.
like your average player of the game, like a nerd.
Yeah,
like,
probably has the exact same facial hair
Yeah.
as a lot of players of the game.
Alice Nagoriyuki is basically Yasuke, and we didn't care about her either. I mean, the thing is,
Well-
with Guilty Gear, the focus is elsewhere. The focus is,
Yeah, exactly.
is entirely on Bridget. Like,
Yeah. Although, you say that, I think a lot of people do not like Nagoriyuki
Okay.
for extremely racist reasons. They don't like as well that Elfelt was given like a something of a romantic tension with Nagoriyuki. They really didn't like that. I've seen some absolutely disgusting takes on that one, which I will not discuss further because I don't even want to give it the oxygen of attention. And it's not really my as much. I will just say that it was just deeply racist.
Good day to you. Care to look over my wares?
Anyway, here's this guy.
Stolen, but who's telling you?
Let's have a chat with him.
Be a brave knight or depraved slave, the demons will snatch your soul, and you'll go mad. And those who dare cling to their humanity are hunted down. It is the end of Great Boletaria as we know it. But hell, at least the demons don't send us to our deaths in battle.
That's interesting. He seems to kind of be saying that well, the demons aren't necessarily the thing that's gone wrong here. The thing that's gone wrong is the kind of power structures in Boletaria. The demons aren't sending us to our deaths. It's the lords that run the place that were doing that. Do we need any of this? I don't think so. I don't want any of these. I don't have enough souls for any of these anyway. Coat of Plate is something we might want to invest in later, but for now I think...
I've so missed a comment where Woodward said, in fairness, I think Dark Souls 2 is the game in the series most similar to Demon Souls. And I think I agree. The sort of friction of the game is similar in both games, I think. And also, I don't know, the groundedness, I guess. I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, Dark Souls 2 grounded? What do you mean? You go from valley and you go up an elevator and get to a lava thing, and it's like, listen, you don't get it. It's grounded in feel. I understand you're in a fantasy land where things don't make sense, but the feeling is sort of grounded of playing it, I think. Yeah. In my personal opinion.
I think a lot of people didn't like the idea that you climb up this ladder and you go from a windmill and suddenly you're in a volcano place. And it's yeah, if you're expecting the place to feel like a real place, then that would be sort of quite jarring and weird. But I think that was intentional. I think that's one of the worst criticisms to make of Dark Souls 2.
If such a thing had happened in Bloodborne, they'd be like, wow, this is amazing. But the fact that it happens in Dark Souls 2 is because the game feels grounded to play, but exists in sort of a fantastical land, you know?
Yeah. So I'm not falling for a lot of these traps that the game tries to throw you into. But I feel a bit bad for not showcasing how devious this game tries to be.
Gas trap me when I get out of the open peak elevator. Oh, bastard.
I'm gonna die here. Can I have a second to eat some grass, lads? Don't ignore that I fucked the first one up.
No, don't worry about
the second time.
I mean, you barely took damage, so it might have been a half parry where sometimes.
Yeah, I think if you parry and don't actually hit the timing right, you don't take as much damage. So it's worth trying to do.
Base says, please fall for the multiple rolling ball trap. It's very funny.
No,
Okay.
I don't want to have to play through the whole section again.
Silk says, I think Dark Souls 2 has the best vibes of the series. I think it just depends on personal preference. I like Dark Souls 2 vibes, but I think for me personally, Dark Souls 1 has the best vibes.
I think
And
this
you like
game,
this one
yeah,
most, yeah.
but I think it is one of those things where it is often like the game you played first is the one you like
I mean,
the
that's
most.
a huge thing, is that I played Dark Souls 1 first. So.
Yeah, I played this first, and I haven't even gotten into my saltiness about the fact that fucking Zero Punctuation told everyone that this game sucked, and people believed him.
Fucking cretin. Joey, meanwhile, Elden Ring has the longest, stupidest elevators ever, and nobody cares. Don't get me started on hating Elden Ring, so I'll go off stream. But yeah, I suffice it to say, there is little in Elden Ring that I like, apart from the Festival of Radahn, and that's the one good thing about the game.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And Alexander.
Yeah,
Alexander and the Festival of Radahn are the
big-
two good things in Elden Ring, and
big
everything
fat
else is
guy.
bad.
Yeah.
And you haven't played it, but you watched me play it, and we tend to agree from
Yeah.
just your watching experience.
That guy didn't die. He fell all that way. I'm kind of getting low on health though. Right.
Alice, Dark Souls 2 had the best PvP, online content, depth and variety, and stuff to do outside of Soulsing.
I feel like the PvP is something that people wanted to see more of after Dark Souls, and I think that has been part of what has dragged the series away from what makes it interesting and good. Is that it's because people wanted more of these kind of this. I think what people liked about the PvP in Dark Souls was that a kind of a community sprung up and a sort of community
formed naturally.
Yeah, the idea of bowing before you attack each other, that all sprung up organically. And I think people liked that idea, and the subsequent games tried to sort of capture that and formalize some of that kind of stuff, but it just didn't really work. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like the PvP has always been the absolute least interesting part of these games to me.
Domus Caligari, it's only natural that you know where all the traps are, recognizes right,
Lol.
A snake can smell its own, etc.
A snake can smell its own?
Funnily, that that was the review that made me realise that Yapsy was a hack. Because he shat on Demon Souls just because he sucked at it and missed all the points. I mean, the real insult is that then he came around and was like, Dark Souls is good.
Yeah,
when he likes it for all the reasons that he disliked Demon Souls.
Yeah, and props to him. He recognised.
He does a later review that he's like, I recognised that I was totally wrong on Demon Souls.
I was wrong about Demon Souls.
But you're like,
I was already
the hurt is too deep.
Yeah, the
damage is
I
done.
have mentioned it on stream before, and I don't mind mentioning it again. That I remember telling people about Demon Souls when people were like, PS3's got no games, lol. And I was like, look, there's this really great game called Demon Souls that you should really give it a go. And they were like, they would link me on I've forgotten what messenger services we were using back then, but they would send me messages being like, oh, you got to check this out, and link me to Yahtzee's video tearing it to pieces, and be like, this guy says it's crap, lol. And I'd be like, yes, so he's wrong about it. And people just did not want to accept that could be true, that maybe their guy who they like was wrong about a game.
Yeah. What about, I mostly avoided Zero Punctuation throughout my life. Every time I hear something he said, I just shake my head and say, what a load of Umbasa. Silk acting Alice. He also drops the F slur in that video, which took me off guard when I watched it recently. Ooh. That's not good.
I simply, when a guy I don't like happens to do something that is genuinely reprehensible, I'm just there rubbing my hands
yeah, I knew it. Yeah.
Yes.
I had the vibe.
Exactly. I knew.
And
is this the
gas draft for consensus changed basically? Yeah, I think a lot where the line between where Zero Punctuation is a consensus setter or consensus follower, I err on the side of he follows consensus. He hated on Demon Souls, because he saw the way the wind was blowing and was like, everyone hates this. I'm going to also say this sucks.
Well, it was a very easy game to hate in that it was
Yeah.
like an extremely niche, like quite weird JRPG that, by all accounts, even by the development team, was assumed to be a failure.
I think for games like reporting on Wide, Dark Souls was like a watershed moment where people were like wondering whether to say this one's rubbish like the last one, or realizing a lot of people are just coming out and saying, I like this. Maybe I should say I like this. Like, well, not just say I like it. I should put the effort in to realize why people like this, and then realize that I like it too. Like, in Demon Souls, people were not ready to give it the time of day. They were just like, on the face of it, it's rubbish. I don't get it. It must be bad.
Yeah.
Whereas Dark Souls, there was enough people saying, this is good.
I think as
that
well...
They were like, I should realize why this is good.
Yeah, I think as well, like, people saw this game and were like, oh, you're a sword and shield guy, you've got magic, and you can, like, dodge roll, and they expected it to be like Zelda, where, like, I'll basically just fight my way through the game, rather than having to, like, kite enemies out, approach combat. Like, here's an combat encounter down here. You can rush in here and get absolutely fucked, because there's explosive barrels all over the place. A couple of the enemies, I think, can throw firebombs, or one of them has a torch. So you don't want to run in there and attack these guys. You actually want to do the thing that feels kind of cheap, which is like snipe them with magic.
If you're just looking at it outside of, like, and actually thinking about the situation, you go, this is not good. I should not just run in here and be like, come on then.
Yeah,
Fight
exactly.
me.
Like, this feels like an ambush, and it kind of is. Also, there's a reason we're coming here and killing these guys that will become apparent in a second. Ooh, shards of harpstone, sharpstone, and hardstone. Those are our upgrading materials. The upgrading weapons path in this game is insane, and I like that that's the case. I like that it's really, really difficult to figure out how to optimally improve your weapon, because I feel like you shouldn't really want to you shouldn't necessarily need to optimally improve your weapon. That should be like a thing you learn and you figure out through patience. But also, it's kind of like, it's like how I imagine magic really would be in real life, in that it's obtuse and weird and it doesn't always make sense. And you put effort in to like figure out how to do it right, and then you get a really good result.
Something that I like in this one and Dark Souls 1 and 2, I'd say, is the fact that you're rewarded for choosing a weapon and sticking to it. Like, becoming a master of your one sword and investing, choosing an early game sword and saying, this is my sword, and then putting lots of stuff into it, and then it becomes the best sword in the game. Like, in both Demon Souls and Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, some of the best weapons in the game are available early, and you just need to invest in them.
Yeah.
I think Elden Ring kind of bucked the trend on that in a way that I don't like, where I was stuck on a boss, then I looked it up online and someone was like, you should find this weapon in this area and then upgrade it and then use that, and I did, and I beat the boss in like third try.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it seems like Elden Ring sort of like, and a lot of later sort of Souls games reward you for basically creating a sort of flexible omni build, rather than really kind of like leaning into, I'm this guy, this is what I do. By the way, we're about to meet one of the most important characters in the game.
Here's our guy.
Please, help me. I am trapped, surrounded by dreglings.
Me playing a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel against Trap Tricks. Is this anything? It's a Trap World, like a portmanteau of Trap Tricks and Dark World.
Me, in the YouTube comments for Yahtzee's video, attacking...
Is this anything?
attacking this game.
We're workshopping a tweet here.
Way!
My thanks for your brave rescue. I am Ostrava of Boletaria. Accept this as a token of my gratitude.
Brass
Bye.
telescope. Yeah, gives us the telescope, one of the most useless items in the game, but we can use it to get a nice close-up on some
Now,
stuff.
Ostrava can go walk off and get himself killed.
Yeah, so that's why you want to clear out all the enemies in the other area, because he heads straight over there and he can die, and if he dies, it's bad. So he walks around down here. I don't think he ever goes upstairs, but he patrols around down here, and he comes down here into this area and will get killed. In fact, yeah, look, he's heading straight here.
Now
Mad
I
lad.
must go.
Head held
There's
high.
something for me to take care of.
There is something for me to take care of. He can just walk down here and get absolutely owned by these draglings. Luckily, I've cleared the place out for him, so he's fine.
Okay, just to catch up on comments. Silk, I used to watch Zero Punch Racing a lot, right from his first videos. Oh god, the comments gone away. In hindsight, it appealed to me, a part of me that just wanted a reason to not be interested in a thing and prove I was better than them. I don't think it's a good attitude to have to games. I mean, yeah, that sort of like misanthropic attitude towards most games.
Yeah.
It's not only out of style now, but it's a bad attitude. I think it's better to approach things with a more open and happy mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what really stung me about a lot of the people like linking me those videos, was that it was like they were appealing to an authority, and the authority was that this guy talks very fast, and I think that's kind of funny, and they were using that to kind of effectively just sort of like shit on something that I was clearly sort of quite passionate about. I think that really stung me. I don't know necessarily that was whether that's his intention in making those videos, but it was very much the result, and I respond to results, not intention. So yeah, I can fall for this silly trap, but I'm not gonna, because
I think this refers to the fact about versatility of builds versus focusing in on your like weapon that you have at the
I
start.
apparently did take some damage there.
Sorry, base, we're not falling for it. I think it cuts both ways throughout all games. Being versatile is rewarded because you can adapt to different strategies instead of being locked into one, but you'll never be as good as a specialist. Continuing on, my Dark Souls 2 playthrough, I had like 4 different weapons upgraded to max, and it was really fun. Continuing on through the comments. I guess it is subjective. Like, I personally, I like when you lock in early and decide this is my thing, and I like the idea of like beating the final boss of the game with the weapon that you picked up at level 1, you know. But I think it is subjective. Some people like the idea of being a very versatile sort of hero and picking up what you need along the road.
So Ellie just mentioned other fun Souls facts. I'm banned from VatiVidia's YouTube channel because he stole one of my theories off Reddit, and I called him out on his comments with proof, and he banned me. Which is very funny.
We've got a celebrity in the chat. There we go.
But I will also say that I'm not a massive fan of VatiVidia either, because I think that the idea of like explaining, I think he's very talented at what he does. He's very talented at like sort of like, you know, telling these stories, but it also sort of codified a singular interpretation of what the canon lore of a lot of these games was, and I don't like that. I like that the lore and the interpretations of this game are something that is, you know, is quite obtuse, and you figure out through yourself. And there's there's probably stuff I've never thought about in Demon's Souls that I hope, you know, the chat can point out to me, and will offer me new perspectives on the way I think about places and characters in this game. And I don't like the way that VatiVidia sort of like almost like quantum collapsed the kind of like the quote unquote correct view on a lot of these things.
Gashraff leaves without explanation, referring to Ostrava. Now look at his arse through his telescope.
Oh.
Sorry, you didn't follow up on that one. You should have scoped in on that. Also Gashraff straight up poochies out of there. Yeah, he's just like, I'm needed elsewhere. Goodbye.
Yeah. Now I must return to my home planet. So
Base is not pleased about the fact that you didn't fall for the ball trap.
I know. VatiVidia got to be the most successful fanfic writer in history, says Joey.
I mean, yeah, like, people were just like, fanfics are good now because they're like...
Well, I mean, like, a lot of it wasn't sort of fanfiction necessarily. It was just sort of like taking an interpretation of, you know, the game's like content, and then sort of asserting that reading to be the reading. I don't even know whether that was his intention. He was just like, I want to tell what I think is the story, and I want to, you know, make some content about these games. But I think the result, again, was the result, not the intention. Can't
Yeah,
claim
no,
to know what his
the
intention
purpose of the
was.
system is what it does.
Yeah, exactly. The purpose of the system was what it does, and what VaatiVidya's videos did was effectively condense the fan community onto a single interpretation of what what these stories were. Now these two lads will absolutely kill me.
Oh
so
yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
these dragons.
sprint.
We'll wait until they just die later.
Yes, we will come back here a lot later. You
Alice
say
is
wait until they just die. They're not going to just die by themselves.
Alice expanding on there was a theory that the statues down the pipe in Majula that spewed poison were statues of the Emerald Herald, and I guess that's what Vaati just stole from Alice on Reddit. Joey says writer in quotation marks and just a little smiley face with a nose. It's wild how many things he just made up that just became accepted as actual canon, like Manus being the furtive pygmy. Yeah, that was fully just accepted out of hand when it's like... Yeah, anyway. Gastraf, you've been locked out of the Ostroverse ending now because you didn't scope his arse.
I didn't look at his bum.
Yeah.
I've got quite an impressive bum of my own, I think.
Gastraf says purpose of the system is what it does is in the chat. Anagrammed.
Possywids, yeah, Possywids in chat. Actually, I have no ass. What the
hell?
What happened to this guy?
This young blue boy.
Young blue boy. Boletarian boy. Boletarian boys descend upon here. Descend upon Boletaria for one thing and one
Boletarian boys
thing.
descend upon Boletaria.
Yeah.
Their homeland.
I think what was my origin? I think I might have left it on north. Like your origin can be north, east, south, or west. Northern boys descend upon Boletaria.
Silk, I liked some of his videos to bring up obscure or implied stuff in the lore, but when he got to releasing the whole books of Dark Souls lore, it's gone too far. I didn't even know that happened, but I'm already I'm years past being interested in VaatiVidya, so yeah, I don't think he should publish books.
The dragon's not gonna...
at Alice, the thing I had in mind was for Elden Ring, but he did the same thing, plagiarized a Reddit comment in full, then denied the whole thing. Seems like a bad guy.
Yeah.
Alice,
not cool, man.
That's not shocking. It's been a while since I was a Souls YouTuber, but I've not really spoken to my old connections in the Souls scene in a while. Except Pokemon, who messaged me earlier going, "Is Helldivers worth it?" in all caps, and that made me giggle. Using the telescope to search for his lost arse, looking up your own arse with the binoculars. Where is it? Right. Sorry, Poke Shine. Corrected. And yeah, Domus Caligari, instead of two cheeks, there's just a hole at the bottom of the spine. No arse. A perfect creature. No arse needed. Never sitting down.
Well, I mean, I will not ever sit down, so that's... Oh, actually, I can't remember. How do you emote in this? I don't know that you can. Yeah, I can't remember how you do any of that.
Anyway, here's one of the dragons.
Yeah. So now that he's gone...
This was one of the points where Zero Punctuation was like...
Yeah, Zero Punctuation was like, I went across a bridge and I got killed and I died and I didn't like it, and then I went back to the bridge and I died again.
You just wait for him to stop breathing fire, mate.
Yeah.
It's quite easy.
You just wait for the dragon to go away.
Like, it's a Richie plays Dark Souls level blunder, and yet people treated it seriously and was like, he's so right, you know?
Yeah. Now, is the dragon gonna loop around? He is. We don't have enough mana to take him down, I think. Although we do regenerate mana with the... Nah, I don't want to do it here.
You don't want to just fire arrows at him over and over again.
Yeah, I think this is one of the weaknesses of this game, is that the dragon, quote-unquote, fights are extremely lame.
Yeah.
Now, you don't need to take them out. I will...
down over half an hour.
Yeah. You don't need to take them out, I will point out. So...
so we won't.
Yeah, so I'm
you
probably
get a soul
won't
for it, right? Like you need.
You get a dragon soul for it.
Honk.
You'll have to watch his Helldivers Worth It lore explained 90 minutes. Well, that's quite brief for modern YouTube video essayist, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it better be 6 hours.
Can I watch the
otherwise-
12-hour-long complete lore compilation part 1 video instead? The game is fun. If it's not fun, why bother?
Exactly. The man himself, as he said.
I think there's enough of a game there for full price to be enjoyable. If you're not going to buy super credits to spend on unlocking full price value drops, if you buy super credits, it really is just a shooter that gives me Souls vibes.
Is that? I assume that's what I said to the person that.
Yeah, I said that's what I said. Yeah, I've got opinions on the way Helldivers sort of like. I don't. On the one hand, like, you know, I don't blame them for wanting to monetize what is viable in their game. Although I think they've been doing that quite badly recently, in that the war bond.
They've been anti doing that. Like.
Yeah, one of the most recent war bonds was to do with fire. And, like, literally 2 days before it dropped, they nerfed all fire damage in the game. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, you want to make money, right?
Like, come on. You ought to buff fire before this
starts. Like, I think it's predatory the way they do these kind of things. And, like, I would rather games didn't feel the need to, you know, release new content and monetize it all. But if you're going to do that, like, do it right, you know?
I should have gotten a counter up on screen.
Yeah.
That's the, like, fifth one I've recognised. I'm sure there's been more. And there's another one. Zephyrian correction, it's not that they tried to ban half the world. They did ban half the world, and the half the world are still banned on Helldivers, despite the PSN required policy being redacted.
Oh, right, okay.
You still can't get the games in, like, most of the world because of that.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. How are you for drink, by the way? I'm done.
I think I have not been keeping up, so I'll have a quick gulp. Yeah, I'm way behind.
Okay, don't worry. Take your time to catch up. I'll drink some water.
I mean, playing a Souls game and drinking at the same time is a dangerous combination. Oh, yeah, right, okay.
First Phalanx.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they are quite weak to magic. So these things are meant to teach you that backstabbing enemies is good, actually.
Yeah. This guy's got a shield at the front and he's goo at the back. What should I do?
Yeah, exactly. If you attack them from the front, you just bounce off and you do barely any damage. And they can do quite a lot from the front. But if you go behind him... Ooh. I like these gooey enemies. I think they're very cool. It's a shame they don't really...
Like Alice says, or throwing firebombs, because they made it.
Yes, they are also weak to fire. And that is... We've... Earlier up, I think up at the top here, we got some turpentine, which we can put on our sword to give it fire damage.
Yeah, you're given a lot of, like, well, in the entire area you've just been through, you've been given a fair amount of firebombs and fire stuff.
Yeah, you've got a load of firebombs, a load of, like, turpentine, a load of grass, so the whole, going through this whole level has basically prepared you for fighting the boss.
Remember that?
Yeah, that spear that got thrown out. So, we'll try using some of the... don't need Soldier's Lotus right now. Chuck some firebombs. Why not? Keep
See,
going
Final
past
Fantasy
it.
Final Fantasy games tell me that physical weapons are completely worthless against gooey flans. I mean, yeah, in like a CRPG or a JRPG, you'd be like, don't use any blunt or slash or piercing damage, use magic damage, you know.
Well, I do have magic, so... I've only died once.
Phalanx.
I usually die... Yeah, Phalanx, first boss.
Pretty scary. Look at him. He's big.
Yeah, he's really big and terrifying. Oh, ow. Okay, ow.
Okay, maybe
he actually is pretty, pretty... Right, let's run away. I do like that you get you can already see that he's not actually, a big spiky boss, but
See
he's
the
a boss
light shining through,
covered
yeah.
in these little enemies which you've been fighting already.
There you go, look at that. 1 kill with 2 damage. When the sound effects stack on each other like that, you know
He's
it's
also he's let a lot more of these things off.
good than usual.
Yeah, normally he does not throw this
Abandon
many of
these
these
so
guys
easily,
off
yeah.
so quickly. But I like that this isn't one of these like boss fights where you're rewarded for like, you got to dodge roll and perfect parry through all of his like animations. You're actually sort of rewarded for playing a bit like a coward and running away, hiding behind these pillars, and like slowly baiting out his guys. Like this is a strategic boss fight, not a test of your
I
like
like
dodge
it for
rolling.
being a slow fight rather than a fast fight, which is Demon's Souls in general. Like
Yeah.
thinking is more important than being fast. What about us? What do you think Phalanx tastes like?
I think he tastes like licorice.
I think it tastes like Marmite with a creamy sort of like
Ooh.
a creamy like nougat center. Don't say I think it's quite nice.
Marmite and nougat.
I think it would be good.
I think it would not in any way.
So you like Marmite and peanut butter, but this is too far, huh?
I also like Marmite on a digestive biscuit.
What the hell? Like, how can you not like Phalanx? Gosh, if you're both wrong, watch the Vati video for confirmation on the Phalanx flavor.
Yeah, you haven't watched Vati videos. 30-minute the taste of Phalanx video. Fake fan, honestly. Ow. Ow, this guy.
Ham with a baseball
Yeah.
bat.
You can't slice ham with a baseball bat. Oh shit. I'm getting kind of hurt. Chomp. Chomp. What do you think Crescent Moongrass tastes like? I think it tastes like menthol. The Crescent
Oh, that's
Moongrass.
good. Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
makes sense. I was
Late
gonna say,
Moongrass tastes vanilla, but kind of boring and unsatisfying. Half Moongrass tastes like dried leaves, and it's really disgusting.
Zephyrian. I was going to say coriander. I was trying to think of the word.
Oh.
Yeah, cilantro or coriander is what I think it tastes like.
I think I'm one of the people that coriander tastes like soap for.
I don't like the taste, but I think I have to concede that I don't have the gene where it tastes like soap. Because I like people who have that are like, I cannot stand it. When I'm like, well, I can stand it. I just don't think it's great.
Oh, by the way, look, Phalanx regenerates health. I hit him earlier with like a firebomb, and he's already regenerated health.
Zephyrian Marmite with a carbonated center. I like that. Yeah, like tonic water at the center.
Ooh.
Joey dude needs animation cancels, I think. I think he should delay his attack and then delay it a bit more and then delay it like half a second more and then release his attack.
Yeah, he should jump
it
up
should
into
kill
the
you in one
air
hit.
and like hang there in the air for like 1.5 seconds or maybe 1.63 seconds. And then as you dodge roll preemptively, he then comes crashing down on you and you feel really stupid and you have to get sent right. You don't actually get sent back to the start of the level. You have to begin the whole game again. Do we have any spice?
Base says, honestly, I think this is one of the hardest
BT
fights in the game, and also says that you are so fucking British. I assume that refers to both of us.
Oh, because
That
we
is-
mentioned Marmite, I
Yeah,
guess.
maybe.
Old Spice? Don't.
Domus Caligari
Oh,
just going up to Phalanx and giving it a big lick.
Yeah? I'd lick Phalanx.
Gashdraft, in every other game ever made, Tower Knight would be the first boss, and then this would be later. Unhinged game design.
I like that this is the first boss, because this is a boss that
I think it
encourages
is.
you for thinking and fighting tactically, rather than, trying to like, I'll just go in there and do a DPS race with him. You will lose that DPS race.
It is kind of insane, but call me just like liking subversiveness for subversiveness, but I do kind of like how it's insane. Why
Yeah.
is the goo at the front and the knight at the back? Like,
Yeah.
Zephyrian is specifying that it's Marmite with pop rocks at the center, like a Tootsie Pop. That's interesting. Alduin, what's your favourite Elden Ring boss? Mine is the guy who holds his sword up and then holds up a bit more and then is about to swing and then doesn't, and then you roll and then he hits you. Yeah, me too, I like that guy.
I like that one guy. He's really unique. So I think that's everyone.
So now you get to just
so
watch
now he fucking runs away. Rather than approaching you, suddenly, oh, we're not so tough anymore, are we?
Fucking leave it, mate.
I'm gonna go and hoover up some of these materials. Oh, you want?
Oh, you starting?
You want a tango?
Never mind. Bye. Yeah, now
I'm
you
leaving.
should just like lick him down to his delicious center, you know?
Yeah.
Thomas Caligari, I think, like you, I think Phalanx should probably taste like blackjacks, which is licorice. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a licorice enjoyer.
You don't like licorice. I love licorice.
I'd give blackjacks to someone else.
I do 30 damage with one hand and 18 damage with one. No, 18 with one and 30 with two.
Right, so he's gone. But yeah, it is
brown
cool,
bread.
but one soul is
I love
gone.
this as well. The demon was destroyed. You shall obtain the demon soul and a power that is beyond human imagination. You have regained your body. Bring more souls, Slayer of Demons. I like that it gives you these two very wordy
The more
notifications.
verbose the message, the better.
Yeah, exactly. I do like
the more nonsensical. I like you defeated.
You
Just
defeated.
Like, I defeated what?
You defeated is great, but I love the messages in this game are iconic. I think. I didn't linger on the you died one, but yeah, there we go. Woo! Lead demon soul.
Tastes like lead, I guess.
I don't know whether
Metallic.
you can. I don't know whether you can go ahead into the next level. I won't.
You need to get rid of your fucking soul, mate.
Yeah.
You can't be having a body in this.
But I think once you do
in
go
this
back
economy.
to, well, I think once you do go back to the Nexus here, you can't leave again until you've spoken to the Monumental.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know whether you can go and defeat Tower Knight. No.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Oh God.
Start on the feet.
The Monumental awaits the above.
The Phalanx sound effects are disconcertingly juicy. I would have said reassuringly juicy. Oh yeah, I will drink.
The Monumental will explain the Nexus to thee.
Fatty video will explain all this to thee. Fatty video at the top being like, so Solaire is Gwyn's first son, right?
The Monumental awaits the above. The Monumental will explain the Nexus to thee.
Look at me. Right, she won't speak to us anymore until we speak to us in the Monumental.
I would be happy to lighten your load and look after any excess baggage.
Laura explained, the maiden in black's feet. Prepare to come.
When the scourge came, I abandoned my wife and daughter and fled like a madman. When I came to, I was in the Nexus. I haven't dared venture outside these walls since. I wish I could do more, but I am ignorant of the world beyond these walls.
Oh, actually.
That Candle Maiden cared for me during my first days in the Nexus. She says very little, but has a kind heart. She's just the age my young daughter would have been. The poor, poor girl. trapped here with her eyes occluded by wax. If only something could be done to help her.
Yeah, so that explains why her face looks that way. She's got wax in her eyes, which I was captivated by when I first played this. I was like, is she blind because she's been blinded by having like wax, burned into her eyes? Like that's really, really grim. Or is it just that like the wax is sort of like built up around her face? Like, does she have eyes underneath there? I don't know, but yeah, that idea sort of like really burrowed into my brain. I think the Maiden in Black is great. Do I want to deposit a bunch of stuff with this guy? Yeah, I'm probably not going to use turpentine. So I can get him to hold this jade hair ornament, which I found on a dead body in Boletaria, if you remember. There's actually something better we can do with the jade hair ornament, which I will show you in a second. Don't think I need these sharp stones and hard stones. We'll have a play around with some of these swords in a second. Don't need the old ragged clothes because I cannot wear them. Good.
Rest assured, your goods are safe and sound with me. Best of luck to you.
Oh, good night, Sin.
If only something could be done to help her.
Huh.
Best of luck to you.
He won't talk to me about...
That hairpin.
There we go.
That belongs to my daughter. Then she didn't make it after all. My dearest little baby. May she rest in peace. May I ask you a favor? Would you mind giving up that hairpin? I'd like to have it in memory of my daughter.
So, you can choose to hold on to the jade hair ornament and then give it to him as part of your stockpile.
Hold on to this, but don't
hold on to this, but it's still mine.
But I want
it
back, okay?
Yeah, you can hold on to this, but it's mine, right? But it does literally nothing. So, spoilers.
Exactly,
there is no reason to keep it other than to just be mean. So we'll give it to him.
You're a saint.
You're a saint now.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so much. Oh, I mustn't forget. It's not much, but please accept this as thanks.
He says it's not much, but it's one of the
I'm a bit
better
ashamed to
items in the
say,
game.
I found it one day, discarded on the main road. But it seems to possess a strange power. Anyway, I feel that you should have it. It will be happier in your hands.
Very strange thing to say. It will be happier. The item itself will be... So, Ring of Herculean Strength
Hello
is...
again. I'm keeping a...
don't want to talk to
You
you.
have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
I love that phrase as well. You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you. That was another one of those phrases from this game that just burrowed itself into my brain.
it's like the Maiden in Black is holding a boom mic.
Yeah. So Ring of Herculean Strength is really good. It gives you a bigger carrying capacity. So if you find yourself weighed down with like, oh, you picked up too many rocks or you can't pick up another one, stick that on. But I won't be using it because I think I'm traveling quite light. Yeah, so we have to go and speak to the Monumental. I need to go and speak to the Monumental for 5 seconds. I'll be back in back in a minute.
all the NPCs quickly. Yeah, I should just... Right, hold on. If anyone subscribes, I'll kill Stockpile Thomas. Prepare to die. That doesn't count. Don't try and trick me with that gas trap.
What are you doing?
I said if anyone subscribed, I'd kill Stockpile Thomas and a gas trap follow to try and trick me.
Followed.
No.
Worth a try.
Anything for a $5 in the world
No,
of Owen.
so that is something I do like about Demon's Souls, is you can completely fuck your playthrough by just killing this guy for no reason. You get nothing from it, but you just lose your ability to manage your inventory. So you just have to discard everything that you're not using. But it makes upgrading your weapons extremely difficult because you now have to just hold the rocks, and if you don't, if you don't know what rocks you're gonna need, well, too bad. Did you squeeze the lemon? That's a very interesting phrase. No, I didn't.
That is not gold-hearted behaviour. Putting a sword next to fucking Thomas's neck after he calls so you have a golden heart.
Yeah. You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
I would have killed you, mate, if I had a $5.
I will put my sword right through your neck. I think now... yeah, here we go. So a new character has arrived.
Are you here to face the demons?
I love this guy.
If so, please free Sage Frake the Visionary from the Dungeon of Latria. I will help you however I can. I can teach you elementary spells. Sage Frake is a gleaming hope for humankind, but I have not the power to save him alone.
I love that this guy sounds fucking bored here. He doesn't want to be speaking to you.
Frake is a great sage who systemized the magic of the soul arts to make it possible for human imitation.
Saying subscribe and I'll kill this guy to no one in particular. Well, next to Stockpile Thomas.
All the more reason that I must meet Frake as soon as possible.
Look at him, arms crossed. He's
this guy will teach us some spells that we do want, actually. Demon's Prank generates a loud sound in a far-off place. Has little direct effects that the caster must think of creatively to make effective use of it. That's your kind of like throw a rock spell. It doesn't have a lot of use.
Joker's Trick, Demon's Prank.
Yeah. Water Veil is really useful. We do want that at some point. Cloak is sort of useful, but stealth isn't too hard in this game anyway. Protection is great. Enchant Weapon is good. And Flame Toss is good. We probably do want that.
This guy's battering every time he thinks of Frake.
Yeah, this guy's a big Frake fan.
Get some bastards in the chat for Frake in jail.
We only have one spell slot, so actually we can't remember.
Be careful how you use it.
Be careful how you use it.
Granted to one such as yourself.
Alright.
I had to make an exception for the sake of Sage Frake.
Yeah, he thinks he's fucking all that, but spoiler alert, we can rescue Sage Frake, and we can become like pretty good pals with Sage Frake, and at that point he's like, I think he becomes a little bit jealous of you.
I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I gave you the spell to save Sage Frake, and now Sage Frake likes you more than me.
Sage Frake, didn't he play William T. Riker?
Sage Frakes.
Sage Frake did play Thomas Riker in TNG. I don't know who played Will Riker, but...
So yeah, I haven't really explored the Nexus that much, but I do like how utterly huge it is, and how much of the space, is sort of bafflingly large.
What do you think Sage Frake tastes like?
I think he tastes peppermint. I don't know what I'm basing that on.
Hemp.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it tastes like sage. That's too on the
Be a
nose.
bit trite, yeah.
Yeah.
Really? You went for sage? Bit
Oh,
obvious.
really? So I don't think... So if you carry on up here... I don't know whether we can actually get up here anymore. Yeah, I think this is forever blocked off. But you used to be able to... maybe it's after New Game Plus, actually. You can go into an area up there that has, like, all-time records, like who's killed the most archdemons, who's defeated the most people in PvP, and like who's like holds the world record for like the fastest run of the game and stuff.
It's like cheaters with level
yeah.
-1 and
yeah, exactly, yeah, precisely. Yeah, I like that's up there. There's like a sort of pantheon of heroes, but now that the servers are offline, you can't get in there anymore. Yeah, I think the monumentals are really cool as well. So there's all these like... They look like they're either sleeping or dead. And I also like that Demon Souls thing of not having people speak, or not having their mouths move while they speak, leaves it open to interpretation whether the monumental is a sort of like weird clay doll of a person, or whether they're actually like just a human being. But yeah, here's the monumental.
We have long awaited you, Slayer of Demons. I am one of the monumentals. We preserve the fabric of reality. There is something thou needest to know. Once, we too, a scourge of demons faced.
Oh.
In the distant past, under a benevolent rule, the world was united owing to the soul arts. Until a lust for power caused the awakening of the Old One. Across the land seeped a colourless deep fog, and the world faced extinction at the hands of the demons.
He just yeets you into a cutscene, so Gastraf.
We were able to lull the Old One back to his slumber, yet only after the loss of innumerable souls, and half the world lost, erased by the fog. In order to mend the fabric of what land still remained, we entrusted 6 elders with 6 precious archstones.
Whatever happened to the
One
6th guy?
to the king of a small yet diligent land.
A small yet
One
diligent
to
land.
the king of the burrowers underground. One to the wise queen of the great ivory tower.
Must be good.
One to the
An ivory
chieftain
tower? They only say good
lost
things about that kind of thing.
souls. One to the shaman of the tempest-worshipping shadowmen. And the last to the great giants of the northern lands.
Well, don't worry about that.
Ooh.
Don't worry about
Never heard
the
of
giants
them.
of the northern
Yeah.
lands.
Set nodes across the earth.
Snoodle doodle, thank you for following.
We
So-
contained the Old One inside this nexus and banned the soul arts. Finally, we became monumentals, half-living sentinels of the fabric of reality. Alas, the other monumentals.
Capture
have
Card has
perished.
been
Very good this stream.
behaving itself.
Maybe
I spoke.
it
too
doesn't
soon.
run as hot in this game, so it doesn't
Maybe.
crap out.
By the power of the monumentals, the 4 sealed archstones have been released, so you can't actually go into any of the other levels until you speak to the monumental.
Now it is your turn. You must lull the Old One back to its slumber and seal it away for all eternity. If not, the deep fog will absorb all that we know. Have you the strength to accept this mission?
I love it. It
No.
defaults to no. Well, yeah.
Yes. we are fortunate indeed to have you. Now, go forth and destroy every last demon. The Old One, without demons to feed its souls, will a new servant seek and lure you to its bosom.
Yeah, there's our mission. I love that there's kind of like contradictory information being given here. So the Maiden in Black said that the Nexus holds together Boletaria, but the Monumental suggests that the Nexus is actually more important than just Boletaria. It holds together the fabric of all reality, and that the 6 Archstones were placed at kind of like key like load points in the world.
Yeah,
not just Boletaria.
Reality points.
Yeah, like one of the Archstones leads us to Boletaria. The others take us to Stonefang, Latria, Shrine of Storms. They take us to other places. So it's not clear to me whether that's just like what a mistake they kind of gave us, or whether like the Maiden in Black is kind of lying to you, or maybe the Monumental's lying to you, or maybe like both are kind of true somehow. Yeah. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, that's what we use to resurrect a human. Right, so the thing I've got to remember. This game has a really fun system called World Tendency. Every time you defeat a demon in a world, the World Tendency shifts towards white. Every time you die in human form in a world, or I think there are other events that can shift the World Tendency towards black. You shift the World Tendency towards black. Certain events will only occur in the levels if the World Tendency is pure white or pure black. And in order to stop shifting the World Tendency of any of the levels towards black, I am going to attempt to kill myself here, because the World Tendency of the Nexus doesn't matter. The Nexus traps you should remain.
He seems like a good guy.
Yeah, the Silent Chief. Yeah, he's got a cool sword. Widowber, the Maiden in Black says Boletaria because it's the setting of the game. When she mentions the Nexus holding the world together, she means the game world. The Monumental is speaking diegetically. Vati Video, you can steal this theory if you give me $1 billion. So I want to go and rescue my souls, because I do still want those. I also like how in subsequent games the bloodstain is just like a bloodstain, whereas in this it's like, you know, it's got the bloodstain and then also the sort of like weird little like dots floating around it.
Yeah, they go for more of like an aura rather than like particles in future games. But yeah, World Tendency is a fascinatingly insane system in this game.
World Tendency, and it's really badly explained, and it is something that like you'd think like, oh, I'm in body form, I get more health, that's just good, and I want to complete the levels in body form. But every time you die, you're shifting the World Tendency of that level towards black, and actually making it hard to get certain events in that world.
I mean, I guess the idea is that you're feeding your soul to the demon in the area, right? You're like empowering the demon soul of the area, which is bad. And because otherwise, like by invading people, you also do something with World Tendency towards black, and
if summoning,
you turn it towards white, something like that.
If you defeat a boss, you shift the World Tendency towards white. I think if you defeat the boss whilst summoning, you shift the world twice towards white. And if you are summoned as a spirit and defeat the boss in that world, I can't remember how it works, but it's not really important because summoning isn't going to affect us, and I'm going to try and get every world towards pure white because the good world events that we want are in pure white. If you go into pure black, a unique enemy appears, which is like I forgot what it's called.
Black Phantom or whatever.
Well, Black Phantoms appear, but also
something else,
like I forgot what it's called, like a pure blood demon or something, or a demon something. It gives you a colorless demon soul, which is a unique item used to fully upgrade like boss weapons. But yeah, I will now take suggestions as to which Archstone to tackle next. I kind of want to go to Shrine of Storms and get my favorite weapon.
My favorite level is Latria, but I think it's one.
Latria is my favorite level as well. It's incredible. So, Boletaria, I'll quickly go through them. Boletaria is the kingdom that we've been fighting in so far. Stonefang is a mine. It's where you can get lots of upgrade materials. Latria, we load into a prison, and it's where you can get lots of like items to do with magic. So it's quite a good area for me to go to. Shrine of Storms is a temple towards like a temple to like forgotten heroes. I think it's also got some good upgrade materials for different kinds of weapons. And then Valley of Defilement has
big fucking swamp.
The big swamp. It's the Souls tradition poison swamp. But it has lots of like items to do with like status healing effects. I think there's also there's some unique items there that are quite interesting. But I kind of want to go to Shrine of Storms to get my favorite weapon. But I also want to speak to the Maiden in Black first, because I have a ton of souls I want to spend.
Brave soul.
So here's the thing I love about this game that they brought back in Dark Souls 2, I think, which is
leveling up at the Maiden.
Leveling up at the Maiden, and she says like a little poem while you level up. Eye stones temporarily connect the diffused worlds. Should you lose your physical form, remember the Eye Stone. So you can always, I think, you could regain human form by using the blue Eye Stone, which makes you summonable. Puts a summoning sign in someone else's world, and then if you defeat the boss, you regain your human form.
Not to invoke a profane name, but I believe Matthew Matosis said about Dark Souls 2 that one of the mistakes of the game is that the Emerald Herald says her like spiel before you level up, while the Maiden in Black says her spiel while you level up.
Yeah.
And therefore it's something to ruminate while you are choosing your things versus before.
Rather something to skip through.
Yeah, rather than bear seek.
Yeah.
What is it? Dost thou seek soul power?
Yes.
So be it. After all, thou requirest strength.
I mean, here's the thing. If you're gonna skip, you skip this stuff anyway, so it's not the complaint doesn't really hold that much water. But
but you always hear the
like what's it called, like the Song of Souls or whatever.
Yeah,
that thing is.
I love it. I think it's really cool. And we'll listen to it like while we seek soul power.
Soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
I love that little prayer. I think it's, I am guilty as charged of giving into astonishment at the kind of symbology and like iconography of this game. And I think that little prayer, like, it burrowed into my brain again when I first played this game, and I was incredibly cringe, and I put it as my like my MSN Messenger like status. I put it as my like my I updated Facebook to be like just put that, and people will be like, what's that? I'll be like, oh, you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it. I love it. I think it's really really nice. I like the way it repeats that line. So the world might be mended, like as though it's almost like a sort of forlorn hope.
Yeah.
Like I will give you strength in the hope that we might fix the world. Yeah, That's
second
what. That's
iteration
really
is
what.
like a sigh.
Yeah,
like...
almost. Yeah, that's what we're really fighting for. But I almost kind of don't believe it that it's going to happen. So anyway, yeah, vitality, intelligence. I want to be.
Whatever. Well, the bear seek thing also points to the Emerald Herald's purpose as like an artificial entity created by the dragon that was in turn created by Aldia and then gunshot.
Whatever. That's so cute. What me?
Your, like, MSN
updating my MSN Messenger status so the world might be mended. ... So the world might be mended.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, my Facebook status. Soul of the mind, key to life's ether. ... Soul right. What do I want to do here? I think I want upgrade intelligence. Yes, we want 14 so that we have more spell capacity. I kind of want endurance for more stamina. That's always good. I also like that this game you level up by you say I want to level this up and then that's it. You don't get to like put all of your you don't get to assign all of your available skill points and then okay it. You have to do it one at a time. And you might say like, it's more convenient to just be able to like level up all in one go. But I like how sort of plodding this is. You've got to confirm each level up. I don't know. I may be being a bit fawning now, but I love the way this game handles so many of its mechanics. Even just small things like that. Dexterity gives you safer landing, lets you fall from a greater height without taking damage.
Nice.
I'm so dexterous, I can fall off a building and be fine. What else do we kind of want? More health? So yeah, intelligence gives you more MP, spell memory, and physical defense. Magic just increases your magic, like, spell power. Faith is... Yeah, it's a little bit stacked in magic. Well, I don't know. I guess intelligence gives you more like mana in general, and then magic and faith both give you like magic damage, miracle damage. But it's weird that like faith gives you miracle memory, but spell memory is packed into intelligence. I feel like spell memory should be in magic, just the way these kind of things are handled. But it also makes sense that increasing your intelligence would give you more memory to remember more spells. I don't know. Also, it's interesting that faith gives you physical defense.
Yeah.
Gotta have faith.
Well, I think it would be nice to have high defense.
To have high physical defense. I think everything gives you physical defense.
Oh.
Yeah, actually everything does. I want to put more points into. Don't really need too much strength or dexterity, really. I do want more magic though. And I can't level up again.
As for me, I am only here to tend to the flames.
What flames?
I keep the candles lit and serve the brave demon slayers who
I guess she means candles, but there aren't actually that many candles.
Art thou done?
Some job.
May thine strength help the world be mended.
That's another thing I like about the Maiden in Black speech. There are these weird sort of pauses, and I like the way that she says strength, the way a lot of like my family members do, like my grandma used to pronounce strength as strength, like not pronouncing the G. that's sort of very, I don't know, again, like sticks in my head, and I can't really explain why. May thine strength help the world be mended.
Thou seekest soul power, dost thou not? Then touch the demon inside me. I shall await thine return, slayer of demons. I am here for thee, and thee only.
Uh-huh.
Some freaks must love the Maiden
Oh,
in
yeah.
Black.
I mean, I think a lot of freaks like the Maiden in Black. She's barefoot. She's very sort of like,
touch the demon inside
touch
me.
the demon inside me. I am here for thee, and thee only.
Woof.
Yeah.
Alright, the only vote I saw was for Shrine of Storms.
Yeah,
so-
well, I do want to go to Shrine of Storms to get an item, but I don't know whether I'll complete the level. Because it is quite hard. You need to put points in strength. Well,
It would
listen,
be
Johnny
fucking
Yakuza.
John Yakuza saying that.
John-
Be like,
John
"You should punch
Yakuza."
everyone.
Yeah.
Put a fucking bike through him.
Yeah.
Killing Vanguard with a
Pick
bike.
pick up a fucking kettle and like pour boiling water all over someone's face. So yeah, welcome to Shrine of Storms. We're only going to be here to collect one item, I think. Oh
I mean, this
shit!
area is like crazy tough, so.
Yeah, they're really hard because
Stay resistant to pierce, and you have a rapier.
yeah. Oh yeah, okay.
You already got rid of
Yeah,
one
good,
more
good,
number,
good, good.
yeah.
Breathe, breathe.
And spend 800 hours farming this one rolling guy.
Listen, I'm not that bad. There we
Does
go.
he
Look.
drop something in particular?
No, he doesn't.
No.
Well, I think they do drop stuff that you might want, but we don't want the items from these guys.
You regain Lost Soul. You didn't get a chance to read the rest of the extremely verbose message.
Yeah, we don't want to farm these guys. Oh crap!
Apparently he was a decent soul farm at one point. I guess you got 400 souls for one guy, which isn't so bad.
Yeah, early game that's not bad. Oh.
Who else remembers farming the 2 Silver Knights at the start of Anor Londo in Dark Souls 3 for proof of whatever, the Dark Moon item that was impossible to get in the actual multiplayer.
Oh, I remember farming the
Proof of a
weird.
Concord Capt. Sorry, I just remembered the name of it.
I remember farming the weird crow guys in the Painted World of Ariamis because they were the only ones that dropped the Dark Moon item
Yeah.
in.
Proof of a Concord Capt. It was the same name, I think, one.
I think it was.
It might have just been proof of something.
I think it was like
short.
proof of retribution or
Yeah.
something.
It was the same icon. I remember, it was like an ear.
Yeah, like a blue ear.
Yeah.
I love that the skeletons fucking do
Average
this Sonic.
PvP fight in Dark Souls 3. Am I right,
Yeah,
fellas?
honestly.
Hello.
Oh, ouch. Ouch. Why can't I backstab them? Fuck. There we go. Now, yeah, this is very hard for us because we only have a piercing weapon, and piercing weapons aren't extremely good against skeletons, as you might imagine. Magic is quite good, though.
If a point down emote was in this, they'd do that after killing you. I love the evolution of the disrespect emote. Like in Dark Souls 1, it was, well, what is it? The ultimate disrespect. Whereas in Dark Souls 3, it evolved to point down.
Oh.
After you kill someone, you point down at where they died, and that's disrespect.
There's Blacksmith, Ed,
Look at
and
them duking it
Baldwin.
out.
I like that Baldwin has like Baldwin has very scaly skin. Ed has like sort of scaly skin, or maybe the other way around. But yeah, sorry everyone, we're going to be here for a little while because I picked Royalty, which is a bad starting class with bad starting weapons.
Just to catch up. We'll be on time with this if it could demote. Gas Rifle, well, what is it? Had too much charm about it, they had to replace it. I mean, Point Down was one of the emotes you started with, you didn't even have to find it.
Soul Remains.
Alice, I used to drop Prism Stones when I kill people in 2. I mean, ultimate disrespect in 1 with the DLC was to drop the I'm sorry after you kill someone. I'm sorry. Or thank you as well, as another disrespect one.
Why can't I backstab these guys?
What about I saw a mod for Dark Souls 2 to replace one of the emotes with a Fortnite default dance? That's pretty good.
Hit the gritty.
It's pure coincidence that we've just seen the Ed and Baldwin loading screen twice in a row. That's not the only loading screen.
Oh.
Do you want to just run and get the item you want and then die?
I don't know that I probably can run past everything. Sell in Vinland. And once you pick up the item, you just have the item. Yeah. So I might try that.
See, everyone's commenting on Ed and Baldwin.
Yeah. Well, now Sell in Vinland.
Yeah. Villain Sullen's sword looks so cool in that loading screen when you find it. It's
yeah.
Like, it's okay.
So running is not working very well.
Richie Dark Souls vibes. Run down. The run. Oh,
yeah, these guys don't really let you run past them.
By the way.
Oh, that's good to know. Absolutely destroy those skeletons.
You should have put some points in strength. I mean, very true. What's your magic doing for you now with your rapier? You could just fire soul arrow at them until...
they charge at you too quickly.
That's true, yeah.
I think what I could do is equip a different weapon. Do we have...
one weapon if you have one.
Bastard sword. We don't have...
No.
Oh, even double handing it, I don't have enough strength. Damn. This might work a little better.
Slash damage might be better than
Slash
piercing.
is better than pierce, I think,
Yeah.
for skeletons. I mean, what I really need to do is be able to backstab them.
That would be good.
Do I actually have a better shield? I don't. Okay.
You won't give it to Thomas or anything.
No.
32 half moon grass.
Yeah. I'm doing pretty well on half moon grass.
True min max is still using that quarter moon grass.
There we go. Yeah, it might be the way forward.
There's your magic. That's my streamer.
Yeah, well, here's your streamer now.
That's my streamer now.
I really want to get this item. So the thing I'm looking for is the Crescent Falchion.
Listen, chat, it's worth it. Don't.
Yeah.
If anyone backseats, you're done. Yeah, Joey says, hi PewDiePie, I'm back. Time to make dinner.
Hi PewDiePie, I'm back. Yeah, what did you eat?
Do a quick bro fist to the chat. Is anyone bro fisting these days?
Who knows? He's trapped on me. That's good.
Can't Brofist these days because of woke. Sad state of affairs, but it's true.
Yeah.
You would be hung by the neck.
Hung by the neck until dead.
Brofist.
That's why we ask the jury to consider the
Okay,
penalty.
I'm certain of getting Brofist and then
of
dash.
death.
Hey now.
No! Fuck! Come on! Satsuki, character you can very easily miss.
It's just appreciating his blade. Nothing wrong with that.
I made the palest pad thai ever, and it was so unflavorful and uninteresting that I should be shamed.
We had spaghetti, like pasta bolognese for dinner. Maybe
Yeah.
one of the most boring dinners. It was good, but
Yeah.
one cannot deny it was boring.
Yeah. Cast the spell, you fool!
Goku, when he was holding Raditz from behind to Piccolo, cast a spell, you fool. Is this anything?
Oh, I ate a late moon grass. Oh, they're valuable. I'm not meant to eat those. Oh shit.
Thomas Caligari can't have a tasty pad thai anymore because of what? Very good. Thank you, thank you.
Why is backstabbing not working?
Yeah, you're there it is.
There we go.
It's the fucking net code, am I right, gamers? Lag stab.
Go on.
Zephyrian te walk toi voice. Mes pronoms umbosa. Because I'm meant to go umbasa. Mes pronoms umbasa.
Oh fuck! I looked across to read that and. I need to just like get backstabbing down on these guys.
Just a little more back there. No, maybe not.
Come on.
A little less. Okay, like halfway
A little
between.
more, I think.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It'll be worth it.
Well, it's not that worth it. Like, it's an item that will make.
Crescent Falchion.
It is very good for
Spoilers,
my build.
It's Crescent Falchion we're going for. Is the early game sword.
Well, for someone who's specializing in magic like
Yeah.
I am.
I mean, it's
Fuck! God damn it.
it's kind of like if you're not specializing in magic, it's like the Drake sword of this game. But if you are specializing in magic, it's actually good for
Yeah.
the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's really good. I mean, one of the things I like about this game is that there's, like, items that are good. Yeah, but once again, I think this game rewards playing tactically a lot more than it does playing sort of, like, you know, mechanically perfectly. And that any build can benefit from having the Crescent Falchion because it does magic damage. Like, no matter what your stats are. Like, it does more damage if your stats are, like, more into magic, but Doing magic damage is really good against the enemies in Stonefang.
I was lacking at two comments. Number one, these guys were the original wheel skeletons. They were doing it manually. Respect. True.
Yeah.
And Joey saying, streamer, can you do better at the game, please?
I mean, not that I want to make excuses for how bad I'm playing.
But the chat is not being supportive enough, am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this really, this is your fault.
No one has their hands on the screen right now, and it shows.
Exactly. There we go. Alright, that's the first time I've killed this guy, I think.
Wow. Joey, earn my support. Full stop.
Wow. Ban Joey for 5 hours.
Time out Joey for 6 seconds.
Oh god, he's coming for me. Everyone, help me. I mean, it doesn't help that I don't have a 100% block shield.
Woo. Yeah.
Right. Have a grass.
Yeah. No. Easy.
Woohoo! You doubted
Yeah, we need
me.
some real umbasses in the chat for this for this segment.
I need to get away from the archers. Look at that, Okizeme.
Exactly.
Fucking went for the meaty. Got him. Alright, those guys are a bit of a problem. But...
I totally forgot where Crescent Fortune even is. So
I know
I thought
exactly
you already get it by
so
now.
Don't worry. It's... We're going to have to get past a red eye skeleton, Talisman of God. So that's your, if you're using miracles and faith, but I'm not. Now, a lot of people think this is super cheap, but look, it's literally fucking glowing. Oh, cast a spell on it. Didn't even hit me. But yeah, this is one of these areas that where I think of when I think that Demon Souls sort of rewards you for playing in a trepidatious sort of like, you know, you've got to get into the headspace of an adventurer. You know, you could be attacked from any angle. When you're walking down a corridor and you see a big glowing platform on the floor, have your shield up, be careful.
It rewards you for equipping eyes, equipping brain.
Exactly. I think, now, H-Bomber Guy has a video talking about how Bloodborne made the genius decision to completely get rid of shields because they engender passivity and they're like a bad... They ruin the game for you. I fucking love the way this game makes you hide behind your shield because you're terrified of what could be coming around the corner.
I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy.
Yeah, I'm just a little guy. I'm just a little level 1 guy. I have no loot.
Yeah, I'm a little goblin. Don't hurt me.
Exactly. I love the way this game gets you into the headspace of an adventurer and makes you feel like I want to hide behind my shield because I'm safe. It makes me safer than I normally am. I like the way Bloodborne sort of tries to make you feel like a ravenous hunter, like a crazy beast, like attacking enemies
with limiting success,
aggressively.
But...
Yeah, exactly. The problem with the rally system, you get health back for attacking enemies, but they will still out DPS you, so you're actually not meant to be that blood crazed. You're supposed to still be kind
like
of
a guy that dodges. And
yeah,
like you're meant to be the skeletons from back then.
Exactly. Right.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I just remembered. Oh no.
Oh crap. Please don't, skeletons. Right,
He's doing it again. Okay, hit a
No.
fucking wall or something.
We only need... come on, man. Give me a break. Right, we only need the sword, so...
Thank you.
Sword.
Alright, see you later.
See ya. Is he gonna follow me? He is not gonna follow me. Right, good. Well, we got what we needed, which is...
many reactions
Pressing
to invoking H-bomb. Uh-oh, from whatever. Velovsome from Gastrap. Joey Soulsborne tubers when they haven't brought the fucking Bloodborne shield for 1 second. Yeah, the joke shield from Bloodborne, the plank shield.
Yeah, the plank shield. Shields are bad because they engender passivity. They do fucking not. They engender a sense of they make you respect the game environment.
Engender this. Douche.
Yeah, I think shields are fine actually. I like that when you get staggered from blocking, you lose all your stamina and your character does a big sort of stagger animation. I think that it adds an element of tension into the game that not having a shield and having instead like a fucking shotgun that you never use.
Sorry, I'm reading more comments. Silk, if I've seen so many people repeat H-bomb when talking about the Souls games, even though Elden Ring buffs shields to make them more usable. Very end, to be honest, I don't know if you're being fair to H-bomb. To properly summarize his arguments, you need to make the same points over and over again for 2 hours. Silk, also, I think he dead names me in that video. Alice asked for more information on that. What about as someone who plays without shields? If I speak, big trouble. If I speak.
I mean, I later on in this game will probably play. I don't know. I will play somewhat without a shield. But like, I think the argument is that shields are sort of just bad in general, and they were a mistake to ever include in these games. And I don't think they were. I think the shield and the hiding behind the shield is great. I love it. I like that the game makes you want to hide behind a shield. I think the more these games became about became sort of like Devil May Cry, but not as good as Devil May Cry. I think, shields were kind of, not as useful in that style of gameplay because the game actually wants you to play a way more aggressive gameplay style.
There's an animation in Dark Souls, I'm not sure if it's in this one, where if you shield a hit that is... You still tank the hit, you don't take any health damage, but it's such a big hit that it does most of your stamina. Usually when you're doing it against like Asylum Demon or Taurus Demon, and your character takes the hit, does a backflip, and then brunts against the hit. To me, that is gaming. I think I love that. That is my favorite animation in the whole game, and I think it's not there if you don't have shields.
Yeah, we don't have I'm currently there are only 2 roll speeds in this game. There's this, and then there's the fat rolling. And I kind of like that Dark Souls adds in a 3rd tier of rolling. I don't think I've got equipment enough to do the fat roll at the moment. No, I probably don't. I think if I equip another sword, maybe.
Joey going back to Rome times and cringing at phalanx formations, in brackets, they are engendering passivity.
Yeah.
So true, so
exactly.
True.
I feel like, hiding behind your shield is a perfectly reasonable thing to want a player to do.
When you're surrounded by sharp objects.
Yeah, I think creating that sense of fear and trepidation in players is a perfectly reasonable thing to want to engender in players. I think it makes the game feel the game world feel more threatening, feel more like something that could kill you. It doesn't make for as good Devil May Cry gameplay. That's true, I concede to that, but I'm not necessarily sure that these games ever needed or wanted to be, well, at this stage in their evolution anyway, needed or wanted to be a Devil May Cry game.
Yeah. And
I think H-bomb in is Dark Souls, the maybe it's the Bloodborne video, I can't remember. I think he even brings up Devil May Cry and points out that, like, oh, you can cancel out of all your attacks, and that's crap. Like, what you want is, like... I know.
haven't heard this.
He points out that, like, Dante in DMC can cancel out of most of his attacks, and that's, like, a bad thing. And it's like, no, that's perfect for what you want Devil May Cry to be.
Yeah, it's like...
If you want the game to feel weighty and kind of like you're committed into your actions, a shield is the perfect thing.
Like,
because you are
sort of
committed into defending whilst you have a shield, unless you have a spear, in which case you unlock a brand new style of gameplay, which is full defense and poking from behind a shield, which you suddenly start to realize, like, oh yeah, that's why this was like a dominant strategy in actual warfare for so much of human history, because
like,
it's fucking crazy good.
The sort of idea that, like, committing to attacks is good, being able to cancel is bad, is sort of like, sounds like he's on a crusade to solve video games. It's like, we're going to create perfect games and then every game's going to be perfect from here on out, and it's like, what's wrong with you?
I think that is also a problem, is that it approaches video game gameplay as though there's like a perfect solution that games are evolving towards, and that Dark Souls is like and Bloodborne is like a points in strength. No,
right, John Yakuza, just because of that, no points in strength.
No points. We're staying
if
at 9
gets
strength.
Above 9, we're deleting the save.
I'm building a character that is much like me.
Has 9 strength.
Yeah, I mean already the character's way more intelligent than I am.
Not about the intelligence, about the strength.
What stat do you think best represents you? IRL.
Oh, me.
Luck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I think magic for me. I'm magical. I have magic power and a physical defense.
I was gonna say faith, but I'm like, not really.
I think I want.
Okay, maybe you might gainsay me on this. Vitality. I never get ill.
You do not get ill. I think I've in the years I've known you, you've been like really ill, maybe once or twice.
Yeah, and we've known each other for going on 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we met in like 2020, right? Or So yeah.
But in that time, I think I've taken, like, not to be like, if you take days off work, you suck, but I've taken maybe 1 day off work.
I've taken plenty of days off work.
Yeah.
I've woken up in the morning with a poorly tummy and just been like, I can't work today.
But
whereas I
do think of myself as somewhat hale and hearty. I kind of just get
you
up
really
and
are.
yeah.
I think you've gone into work feeling ill, and been like, oh, I'm not quite ill to justify a day off. Oh, so when you take a day off, it's like
I'm gonna die.
So yeah, no points in strength because we're creating a me character, and I already this is stronger than I am. 9. I'm not. 9.
I did say
I'm like
that's being generous. But,
yeah, I'm maybe a 7 on strength.
Thank you for the follow, John Yakuza.
Oh, thank you for the following.
No strength,
but still, I'm not gonna humor you with any strength. Don't think that'll
fucking points in faith before I put points in strength.
Yeah,
I'll show you.
I think I am quite faithful, actually. Luck is a dumb stat, honestly.
I don't remember what it does in Demon's Souls.
I kind of think we want more. We want more magic, actually. We're a magic guy. Why? What do you?
I just think it's funny. A guy who has only leveled magic so far. I think
more magic.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe some more magic actually.
Make sure to put points into defense for enduring tummy punches. Everything gives you physical defense.
I keep the candles lit and serve the brave demon slayers who are trapped here.
This is
it's interesting she acknowledges
a response to everyone who said about the candles earlier, including me. She's like, all right, you.
I like that she acknowledges that the demon slayers are trapped here,
Oh yeah.
They're not here
get
of their own
twisted.
accord.
Yeah.
They are trapped here. Firian, if it was a Final Fantasy, Engender would be a spell to buff your weapon with the gender. That's good. I don't want to explain because it's funnier if I don't.
Okay, this is
And I
about
don't want to give away my
how
name.
H-bomb is dead named. So.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's very lame. I mean, I assume not intentionally, but yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Okay.
Art thou done?
Yes.
Art thou done?
Art thou done?
I like that. I might say art thou done. To
Art
you
thou
more
done.
often.
I love that she uses these archaic forms like thee and thine.
Art thou done?
Art thou done? Where when someone's been going on at me. Art thou done? I don't want soldiers or Royal Lotus on me at the moment.
I think we've said it between the two of us before, but Stone of Ephemeral Eyes is a really cool name.
Yeah, it's a great. I don't want to sound. Excuse me.
Belch.
Oh, a bit gassy from all that Pepsi. I don't want to sound like I'm overly just astonished with the kind of iconography of this game, but I do think, just so many of the names and words in this game are fascinating. Right, don't need Mail Breaker. I'm something of a broken male myself.
Is anything.
We don't need a Talisman of God. I don't think we
we've
really
got
need the
Crescent
Rapier
Falchion
anymore.
+1 now. This is us.
Yeah, exactly. We've got the Crescent Falchion +1.
Dinghy Robe +1.
Dinghy Robe plus.
When,
So
when,
yeah,
when
I do.
the Dinghy Robe is +1. Yeah.
So, how long have we been streaming?
We're at midnight now. We're at
midnight.
Stream limit.
We could probably go to another Archstone. I'm not sure that I would necessarily complete another Archstone because they're all quite like the first level of every area is quite hard.
It's quite long as well. Quite long.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah. They're hard and therefore they will take a long time.
Yeah.
So we can call it here after having just defeated Phalanx and then gotten
beaten the
my
first level in earnest.
Yeah. I think maybe it is probably a good idea to just call it a break.
Next time you should do a Twitter poll in which area you should do first.
Yeah, I could do it. Well, I could do a Twitter poll. I think there are. If I discount Tower Knight, there are 4 different options for places I could go. Twitter polls only let you put 4 options. I think what I'll probably do is I'll do them in order. I've done area 1-1 of Boletaria. I'll do 1-1 of Stonefang, 1-1 of Latria, 1-1 of, etc., etc., so on and so forth. And then I'll do 2-2 of every area. Oh, actually, no, you can't do 2-2 of one. You can't do the third area of Boletaria until you've gotten
done one of the others.
Yeah, well, until you've done more than one.
I thought it was just 1 to completion, and then you can get into Boletaria free or whatever.
Maybe. I can't exactly remember. Yeah, might call it here then. I'll try and remember the item duping glitch just to show it off in the next stream, but I'll try not to abuse it in this run. Usually I just item dupe everything because I'm like, I like just hanging out in this game rather than...
Yeah, if we're doing any item duping, it won't be on stream. Like, hey look, this time we have...
Oh look, I just somehow have 600 grass out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And the only reason I would consider item duping here is just because I don't necessarily want the stream to get too boring.
Farming grass. I mean, we have spent a lot of the stream yapping, so...
That's true.
Yapping time can be spent farming
That's
grass.
true, actually. That is true. But yeah, I love this game a lot. I will make many more unfavorable comparisons between the Bluepoint remaster and this version
and
next
Elden
stream.
Ring and this
Also,
game.
can I just point out, I don't think our splitter fucked up a single time
Honestly,
this stream.
miracle game. Yeah,
Miracle,
the
yeah.
splitter has not fucked up once. Either the splitter has fixed itself by like melting in into the correct configuration, or this game is blessed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, wearing this coronet increases our maximum MP.
Huh.
So that's good.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah, thanks for swinging by, everyone.
Bye. See you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. I will probably go into the Discord and maybe consider playing some fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone wants to play some fighting games against a drunk Merle,
Counter.
hit me up. Counter. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Sure, I'll fight you, Silk. Bye.